Father, we are very thankful for another day that you have given to us. Lord, I ask you to bless our city council, our mayor, our chief of police, our police department, fire department, our residents, and our businesses. Lord, keep us in your hand and take care of us. And we praise you and thank you for that. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.
Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Montero. Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Councilmember Reyes English.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Manning.
Here.
Mayor Vargas.
Here. Okay. First presentation, Councilmember Reyes English.
Wow, I thought I had a little bit more time. That was fast. Okay, well, welcome everyone. Let me just first of all acknowledge some of the presentations we have here this evening, and I'm doing this in partnership with Councilmember David Patterson. This evening we're going to be recognizing Theater Truck and its production team. I don't know how many of you participated or attended the Shakespeare in the Park. Can I get some hands? Are there hands? Yeah, it was a great event. It was a great event. Yes, it was. I'm going to go ahead and ask Councilmember Patterson to say a few words, and then we're going to give some recognition to individuals, and then we'll take a group photo. Would you like to go ahead?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to give this recognition. I know that one of the founders of Theater Truck is from Hawthorne, Holly Park, and Holly Park Neighborhood Association reached out to me wanting to produce this in the city of Hawthorne, and it was just such a great experience. I'm a big fan of the arts. I don't have any artistic talent myself, but I always appreciate going to plays and concerts and all that stuff. And it was just great. It was a great contribution to our community. So, you know, we're of course all excited to be able to thank you guys and recognize you guys for your contribution to our community. And we definitely plan on bringing you guys back, hopefully where you don't have to donate your time as well, because we definitely appreciate your hard work and your efforts. So we have a proclamation. Says to the Theater Truck, we commend their unwavering commitment to the arts and the community demonstrated through the production of Much Ado About Nothing in Holly Park. Your creativity is laudable. We appreciate your efforts in making the arts accessible to all. So recognize this 22nd day of October 2024, signed by Mayor Alex Vargas, Mayor Pro Tem Katrina Manning, Councilmember Alex Montero, Councilmember David Patterson, and Councilmember Angie Reyes English. And so I don't know if anybody, the representative would like to come and say a few words, and we'll love to take some pictures with you guys as well. But
yeah, if you could just come up to the podium, and then I'm going to read off some certificates of recognition, and then we're all going to come into the shoe here and take a picture. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Riel Paley, and I'm the artistic director of the Theater Truck. Thank you, and thank you, to the City of Hawthorne and the Holly Park Neighborhood Association for having us. We're really proud of the work that we did, and it's our commitment to the arts and to the City of Los Angeles, the broader City of Los Angeles, to keep bringing theater that's high quality, accessible, and free. And that's really what we do. And yeah, we're looking forward to what's possible. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Riley. Let me just real quickly present some certificates of recognition. Councilmember Patterson, myself, along with the council colleagues here, for your outstanding performance of Much Ado About Nothing in Holly Park. We commend your exceptional talent and dedication to the arts, recognized this 22nd day of October 2024, signed by the council. And this is Riley Paley, and then I have another one here, and I'm going to call out some individuals, so please stay standing, come up to the front. Jessica Panatalone. Great, Jessica, thank you for being here. Sidad Kim. Sidad,
Oh, she's not here. She
Okay.
didn't make it yet.
okay. Yeah, Eli Gardner. Great, thank you for being here. Sharik O'Quinn.
Also couldn't make it, sorry.
Okay. And we have also Elijah Cooper. Elijah Cooper's here. Eli Garden's here. Sidad is not here, right?
No.
Okay.
And then
Jessica's here.
Brent Grimes, I think. Do you have?
Rely Brent. We don't have Brent, but Brent, come on up. We're going to mock this certificate, and then we'll make you one.
Perfect. Thank you.
Let's come up to the here to the middle of the council. Come on up. Go
Come
around.
across.
Yep. Council colleagues, please join me.
All right, here we go. And then 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Councilmember Reyes, second presentation.
Thank you so much. And we're moving things along. It's good to be here in recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We just acknowledge our breast cancer awareness. Now it's domestic violence. I wholeheartedly support all of these efforts that we're making here in our city of Hawthorne to address these types of concern and awareness, education. It gives me great pleasure to acknowledge and provide a proclamation to Elaine this evening. The City of Hawthorne, a proclamation Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas domestic violence affects individuals and families across all demographics, transcending age, gender, race, and socioeconomic status, and constituents a pretty vast issue that impacts communities nationwide. Whereas millions of individuals endure physical, emotional, and psychological abuse from intimate partners each year, resulting in devastating consequences from survivors and their families. And I must add bullying too. Whereas it is an imperative to raise awareness regarding the indicators of domestic violence, provide support for victims, and cultivate a culture of respect and healthy relationships. Therefore, we acknowledge October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We call upon all citizens to extend their support to victims and survivors of domestic violence and to participate in dialogue that enhances awareness, collaborations, and efforts to end the cycle of violence. This is proclaimed on this day, the 22nd of October, 2024. And if I could ask Ms. Lane to come up forward, and anyone who is part of a domestic violence awareness and acknowledgement. Also, Pat Donaldson, I'd like her to also say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a very good surprise, so to speak, to have this event recognized. We are a domestic violence agency here in the city of Hawthorne. We've been here for 18 years. I wanted to ask if, I believe there's a presentation I should make.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
available right now?
Yes, they're going to
Okay.
come up to help you with that.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, and what do I press? Can you stand next to me for a second? Okay.
And we all have it at our desk here.
Very good. So good evening, everyone. Mayor Vargas, council members, and city officials. My name is Elena Meloni. I serve as the executive director of the New Star Family Justice Center. Thank you again, council member Angie English, for inviting us to do this presentation. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I believe the proclamation you have just read said almost everything as to why we need to recognize this month. As I said, our agency has been here for 18 years. We started out with just one little office up the street to 2,000 square feet. We are now in a 7,000 square feet. Our program has grown. We have a staff of about 14 people and a lot of agencies that come and provide additional services. I wanted to just very briefly mention or talk about statistics. There are many, many statistics, but the three that are most important to me are that 1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence at some point in their lifetime. And we can also add 1 in 7 men. We have the statistics as well these days. On average, it takes 6 to 7 tries for victims of DV to leave an abusive relationship. That's because of the many, many, many barriers that one has to face, which I will talk about in just a couple of minutes. The other statistic that is, oh, I'm supposed to do this, I'm sorry. Which one? There you go. Yeah. So the other statistic that's very important is that 75% of juvenile offenders of violent crimes have been either witness or victim of domestic violence. This is significant because we're talking about our young people in the community. So we have to do something about that, and we are doing something about that. The next is, so why this is happening is because even though we have a lot of services in the community, the current system unintentionally makes it difficult for victims to seek services or to find services. When the 911 call is placed, all of these things are open in front of this victim. The person is already a victim. Now they have to deal with the law enforcement. They have to deal with the courts. They have to deal with Department of Children's Family Services if there are children in the home, medical and legal and all of that. And so for a lot of them, they feel like, I probably don't want to make that call, even though they need the help. So they must travel from place to place. They have to tell their stories over and over again. And the gaps in services among all the agencies, this is what keeps a lot of them from seeking assistance. Now I'm going to show you another picture that looks almost like this, but it's different. And this is the program that we have called the Family Justice Center. So, what is it, this one? Yeah, oh, thank you, okay. It looks almost the same, however, look at that door. When somebody comes through our door, okay, everything is coordinated for them. They have to make only that one stop. We co-locate multidisciplinary team of professionals who work together under one roof to provide coordinated services for the victims. Again, tell the story only one time. We have case management. We make sure that nobody falls through the cracks, so to speak, and that they have access to everything they can possibly need. The next, I'm going fast because I don't have too much time. The next one is this one. Oh, yeah. The Family Justice Center program is unique because it is recognized by the Department of Justice. Congress recognized Family Justice Center model in Title I of the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA, in 2005, and are now, and so Family Justice Centers are now identified as purpose areas under VAWA. What that means is if we are applying for a federal grant, we have special recognition for that. Here in California, There are about 150 family justice centers around the country. In California, we have the largest number, 27. That's because we are Californians. And here, too, we are recognized under AB 1623 Atkins in 2014 Family Justice Centers, where it says basically that a county, a city, a nonprofit are authorized to open such a program. So the next one is, this is just a sample of all the agencies we work with, because no one agency can do everything, right? If somebody needs housing, that's a specialized program, right? So we should have 2, 3 partners to help with that, and so on. Let's see, so the next one would be, so here's a picture of some of the family justice centers in California, and there are more being added all the time. The next one is for our program, basically, it starts out with case management. When somebody comes in, we do an intake, do case management, which includes the program enrollment, service plan. Everyone gets a safety plan. Every 2 months, we revisit the safety plan to make sure that they are still safe. And then we have amazing assessments that we don't know of any other programs that have this kind of assessments, like the danger assessment, like the strangulation assessment. And I don't know how many of you are aware that just 2 or 3 weeks ago, we hosted the strangulation prevention workshop, which was attended right here in Hawthorne, which was attended by over 100 people. Wow. So we're very happy about that. The Hope Scale, probably no one has heard of the Hope Scale, although it's been out there for a long time, but we use it. When clients come in, we ask them if they want to participate, because, and it's fun to see that they, take the 8 questions and they are at a certain level, and 2 months later they are a higher level. And we know that people with high hope can achieve more. People with lower hope, we have to work with them longer. So that's what that means. This is a flyer of all of our services. We put them everywhere we can so that people know. This is, we offer therapy, individual mental health therapy, support groups, domestic violence education, which is court mandated. We offer, this is a new program for us this year, legal advocacy. We're able to, not only do we do on-site restraining orders and court support, we now have funds to provide an attorney for these victims, to represent them in court for the restraining order so that they're not alone. We have positive parenting, which is another court mandated program. A couple of things that I don't have on here. One is the domestic violence response team program that we have with our very own Hawthorne Police Department. It's our 2nd year. It's amazing. Basically, when an officer gets a call, they call our advocate. We have a dedicated advocate for this program. They call our advocate, and the advocate either meets them on scene, if it's safe, or at the police department, or they come to our office. The idea is to get there when it happens. And the other program we have that I don't have here is the program that we have with the prevention program for the youths with the Hawthorne School District. I have 4 dedicated staff members in the 3 middle schools. They do all kinds of healthy relationship programming, anti-bullying contests, which will take place here on Friday. And the program is going fantastic, and we're very happy to provide this for all of the community members here. Thank you very much.
Again, your commitment, your passion, your dedication, is to be commended. You're doing great work in the city. We're glad that you have your Justice Center here in Hawthorne, providing for the South Bay region, but more importantly, to the residents of Hawthorne, in partnership with our police department. I know that the work that you guys do, again, is one of education and more importantly, dedication to those that have a need around domestic violence. So with that, I'm going to join, join us here in the middle, and we're going to have a photo with you. Pat, do you want to say a few words with regards to domestic violence? And I know the work you're doing too. Thank you.
Yes, okay, so not only the chamber, but I have Hope is Helping. And I was raised in the church. My parents were ministers. We had a church and a shelter for abused women and children. And I know with Angie's help, and I'm sure Katrina also, the women that we see that get abused, it's a horrible thing to see. And with her help, and the police department, it's amazing what Hawthorne has done for these domestic violent women. And I appreciate Hawthorne more than anyone could ever imagine. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have Pat
and
come
with
on.
my help, Pat.
Yes, and of course. Come on up, and let's come on up, Pat. Our police department Captain Lane, Port, Chief, can you come to the front here?
All right, here we go. And then 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good work.
Human Resources Director Lampkin, please proceed with the third presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, remaining council members. So I'm going to present to you, excuse me, the September Good Neighbor Award nominees. When the nominees hear your name, please stand. Our first nominee is Jaleesa Trujillo from the Police Department. Jaleesa is being nominated for this prestigious award in recognition of her exceptional dedication and commitment to the Hawthorne Police Department's Traffic Bureau. Since her employment with the department in November 2021, Jaleesa has consistently displayed an impressive go-getter attitude, coupled with a strong work ethic that is truly admirable. Jaleesa's exemplary performance extends beyond handling the traffic window on a daily basis, as she has also taken on additional responsibilities within the Traffic Bureau. Her proactive approach and determination have made a significant impact on the department, and her efforts have not gone unnoticed. Her outstanding qualities, including her commitment to work, her ability to take on multiple tasks, and her dedication to making a positive impact within the community, make her an exemplary candidate for the Good Neighbor Award. Let's give Jaleesa a hand. Our next nominee is Elizabeth Ellison from the Building and Safety Department. Elizabeth is being nominated due to her dedicated service and exceptional work ethic within the department. Throughout her tenure, she has consistently gone above and beyond in her role, providing invaluable support to both customers and colleagues. During the nomination period, Elizabeth demonstrated the city's core values of dedication, teamwork, and service excellence when she stepped up to cover for a colleague during their absence. Despite the additional workload, Elizabeth ensured uninterrupted service by efficiently managing her own responsibilities while also handling her colleagues' tasks. Elizabeth has made a significant and lasting impact on both the department and the city through her dedication, reliability, and exceptional customer service. Her ability to handle a wide range of responsibilities, for assisting customers at the counter to efficiently managing the phone calls and emails, has helped ensure smooth day-to-day operations. What sets Elizabeth apart for this nomination period is her exceptional dedication and initiative. When a colleague was on extended leave, she took on additional responsibilities without hesitation, ensuring uninterrupted service. Her consistent professionalism, patience with customers, and ability to handle a high volume of tasks efficiently have made her an invaluable asset to the Building and Safety Department. Our next candidate or nominee is Venetia Castrillo. There you are. Okay, Venetia began her career with the City of Hawthorne on October 30th, 2000, as an accounting technician. She is currently serving as the Finance Department's most senior accountant. Venetia is a valuable member of the finance team. She has an excellent work ethic and is always available to help in an emergency. Venetia always has a positive attitude, and she goes above and beyond in sharing her extensive knowledge with all the finance staff, as well as other city department staff who she collaborates with on grants. In the past year, Venetia has taken on additional duties in training our 2 new accountants. This is in addition to completing her normal day-to-day tasks, which already keep her quite busy. Venetia regularly attends trainings to stay up to date on the financial reporting changes. She has demonstrated leadership and willingness to help others to be successful. Venetia has dedicated 24 years to the city of Hawthorne. She is always professional in her interactions with all city staff. She exemplifies teamwork and surpasses all expectations. She is a mentor to all new employees and has been considered the unofficial trainer of all new accountants for the past 10 years. Venetia is being recommended for the Good Neighbor Award because of her leadership, her excellent work ethic, and professionalism. The Finance Department is truly fortunate to have them on their team. Our last nominee could not make it, but I promised her that she could watch the tape and hear what is being said about her. It is Annie Rowland of the Public Works Department, Airport Division. Annie has been working for the airport for the last 3 years, and prior to that, she worked in engineering for 16 years. During that time, she has shown herself to be a dedicated and responsible employee, willing to be flexible and assist her fellow employees whenever needed. She has demonstrated her patience and professionalism through her tenure with the city. Recently, they had to coordinate and schedule a large number of new airport users for access to the airport. Annie exemplified the city's core values of professionalism and accountability by quickly planning and communicating with all the required parties in order to successfully coordinate the required training and providing excellent customer service to the new airport users. She has contributed to the success of the Public Works Department and the city by patiently and consistently assisting the public to resolve multiple issues and by efficiently completing her varied task. She has assisted in achieving the goal of maintaining safety at the airport and efficiently running all operations. Annie's ability to calmly and efficiently assist airport tenants and users has distinguished her service to the city. She is always ready to respond to any unexpected situation in a professional manner and is always willing to assist. Congratulations, Annie. As always, the committee and I struggle with reading and figuring out who is the winner of the city's core values. We could not make a determination, and all the ladies are winners. Ladies, I ask if you could come up and take a picture, please, and get your certificate.
For our fourth presentation, I would like to introduce the Centinela Valley Union High School District Leadership Team, who would like to provide an update about their great programs and facilities and things that are going on in the school district, our high school district. I'd like to introduce Stephen Nelman, who is the superintendent, Dr. Pamela Brown.
Pam's not here, yeah.
Okay. It's Dr. Stephen Nelman. Pamela Brown's not here, but we'd like to say hello to her and acknowledge her. She's the Assistant Superintendent for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Dr. Kelly Santos, who's the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. Dr. Daniel Urrutia, who's the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. Take it away.
All right, we have a presentation. I don't know if someone has to help me get that started. Okay, great, thank you. All right, so Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, City staff, and all of the guests here tonight. So I am Dr. Stephen Nelman. I'm the superintendent from Centinela Valley Union High School District, and I do have a couple of my colleagues here. As the mayor said, I have Dr. Kelly Santos, my assistant superintendent of educational services, and Dr. Daniel Urrutia, who is my CBO. So tonight what we're going to do is go over a few things with you about some updates for our district, changes that we've had through the years, and some of the things that we're going to be having moving forward. So first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about our academic options and our pathways. You know, we have 3 high schools. We have Lawndale High, Hawthorne High, and Lusinger High, and we have our continuation school and our independent study school. So each of those have unique academies. When I started in the district many years ago, I started, like 24 years ago in the district as a teacher. Kelly was a teacher right down the hall from me, and Daniel was one of my students, actually, in the Marine Science Academy at Lawndale High School. So, you know, we go way back in the district. Us combined, if Pam were here, we would have over 80 years experience working in the district. For me, Kelly, and Pam, it's the only district we've ever worked in for our entire career. So Kelly and I are also Hawthorne residents. Dana is a Lawndale resident. He's also an alumni. Pam was a alumni of Lusinger High School also. So all of us have pretty good connections here with the community. Okay, so for Hawthorne High School, we have a few different academies. We have one of our oldest academies in the district is our engineering academy. We also have our Woods Academy, and we have TADA, which is our technical arts academy. We have the NJROTC, so we have a Navy ROTC program there, and we have an AVID program for our students for advancements via individual determination. So it's more of an academic program. At Lawndale High School, that's where I started the Marine Science Academy there, like I said, back in like 2002, I think. So it's been there a long time. That was one of the first academies that was at the school. Now we have a bunch of different academies at the school. We have, again, AVID at the school. We have a Spanish Dual Language Immersion Program. We have Marine Science Academy, as I mentioned, the Biomedical Careers Academy, the Academy of Cinematic Arts, the Music and Recording Arts pathway, and in development right now, which we'll have ready for next year, is an early college program with El Camino College, where students can get their AA degree while they're still enrolled in high school. At Lusinger High School, we also have the AVID program. We have Advanced Academics Academy for the advanced students. We have Multimedia Careers Academy, the Environmental Careers Academy, and the Culinary Careers Academy. So if you get a chance to come into any of our schools, each one of them really has a showcase academy, I think, where when you walk on campus, you can go visit that academy and really see kind of amazing stuff that the students are doing. For example, like I said, the Engineering Academy at Hawthorne High, the students in that academy have made parts for the International Space Station, and graduates from that academy have started their own companies in Hawthorne making parts and products for the aerospace industry. So our students that are leaving that program are getting great jobs, some of them starting their own companies. It's pretty amazing. Lusinger High School also has, like I said, the Culinary Academy. If you go there, it's like a giant industrial kitchen where the students are making products every day. They have their own taco cart. They go out and do events. So if the city has an event and they want somebody to come out with a taco cart, you know, our kids can come out and run that for them. And like I said, Lawndale High School has has some great programs. The Academy of Cinematic Arts, they have a soundstage where they film movies on campus, so those students get that experience and those connections with the industry. We also have Lloyd High School and Sentinel Valley Independent Study School. Lloyd is our continuation school for students who are behind on credits. The Independent Study School, of course, is for students who would prefer to work from home. They come in as many days a week as they'd like to. They have to come in at least one day a week, but the rest of the time they can work from home on their classes. Okay. Is this a video? Is that what it's supposed to be? Well, it must not have been embedded. Okay. So we'll skip to community schools, and we'll let Kelly talk about that.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us here. I think in the 25 years that I've worked in Centinela Valley, starting out at Lawndale and then also working at Lusinger High School before the district office, this initiative for community schools is one of which I think we are the most proud. We began community schools and earned this grant last year, so that was our first year implementing. The prior year to that, we had a planning grant, and we did that in conjunction with Hawthorne and Lawndale school districts as well. Those schools who feed into us also are partnering with us in doing their own community schools implementation. But as we move forward in our second year, we're really proud of the work that our community schools coordinators have done. If you're not familiar exactly with what a community school is, they're all unique, but even though they are these specific places that are built in and of themselves for what a school specifically needs to meet their students and families' needs, it's not just a place, it's really a set of partnerships. And those partnerships exist between each individual school and the community resources. And our community schools are really focused on an integrated approach that's meant to improve academics, services, supports, and opportunities that ultimately lead to not just improved student learning, but stronger families and healthier communities as a whole. So in CV, we're leveraging community resources and partnerships, and these are just a few of them. But we're doing this to really bridge the gap between what we're seeing our students and our families experiencing and our ultimate goal of students being ready for college, career, and life. And we're doing this through a whole child perspective. For us, that includes meeting students and families' basic needs, and we've done that through some specific events such as resource fairs and produce distributions. I don't think... There we go. So resource fairs and produce distributions. Last year, we had about 8 produce distributions and 10 resource fairs, and between those served about 1,500 families. We also distributed nearly 1,000 hygiene and dental kits through our partnerships with Supply Bank. Each one of our schools also has their own branded closet or boutique. So if you were to go to Hawthorne, they have their Cougarville boutique, and when we are at Lusinger, it's the Lutique. So each one of them is really branded that as a place where students can feel welcome, because it's not always easy for our students and their families to ask for the things that they need, and so we've really built those to be welcoming spaces. So you'll see that as an example there. Again, our produce distributions and our resource fairs. Those resource fairs have also allowed us to implement wellness activities and events that support not just students' social and emotional health, but also their mental health as well. And then ultimately, also with these resource fairs, we've been able to provide post-secondary job and career readiness opportunities, not just for our students, but for families as well. Every year we are doing an inventory and survey of our students, our families, our staff, so that we can make adjustments to our goals and to our services and to our partnerships to meet the really evolving needs of our community. So in the end, our goal with community schools is to transform them into really the thriving centers of our community, and really focus on that engagement and those supports that are going to address not just the educational needs of our students, but the social, emotional, and health needs of our families at large. So you'll see there we do have a district community schools coordinator and then a community schools coordinator at each one of our 4 schools. So with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Nelman to share with you about our Safe Schools Initiative.
Thanks, Callie. So this is what Dr. Brown was going to be presenting. She's, like when we were introduced before, the Assistant Superintendent of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. So she is also over our school safety, and that's what some of our updates here are going to be about really quick. So for school safety, we do have a school safety initiative that we are kicking off this year. You know, we're recognizing that our students have different needs than they had prior to COVID. Coming back from COVID, they had different needs, more need for social and emotional supports in the classroom, counseling, social work, and so forth. So, we make sure that we have all of those resources on our campuses. We also want to make sure that we're doing preventative things rather than, reacting to things. We want, in the news, sometimes you hear about a school to prison pipeline. We want to make sure that that's not something we have in our schools. We have restorative practices and other ways to make sure that we're dealing with the students' needs rather than the first thing we do is, call law enforcement and get them involved with something. So we have students that are, also involved in our interventions. So we do have substance abuse, violence interventions to, again, to be preventative in nature. So training for all our students to know how to deal with anger management, relationship issues, social and emotional health, and so forth. And finally, I have Dan, who's going to talk about all the really big visual changes you can see in our district. I know, like I said, when Kelly and I started over 20 years ago at Lawndale High, we had no gym that worked. We didn't have a track and field. The students were changing in a locker room. And now when you walk on our campuses, it's really unbelievable. I mean, they really look like college campuses. The facilities are amazing. Who could have thought, I would never have thought 20 years ago that we'd really have the opportunities that we have now for our students. But I'll let Dan tell you a little bit more about that and some of the things that we still have coming up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Council. My pleasure to be here tonight, give you a quick update. And, I was a student, facilities were very different. I mean, we had 2 power outlets in the classroom, and if you use both of them at the same time, you may not have light. So, and obviously with education, the technology needs have come a long way. So I know you're all probably acutely aware. You've seen the changes, drove by, through the 405, you can see the progress. But Lusinger Athletics, we completed spring 2024. Still a few little minor things that we're wrapping up, but glad to see that campus coming together. I'll show you an overhead in a second. One other project happening there is a Rice Theater. So if you're a Lusinger alumni, very familiar with Rice Theater, but we want to make that a little more on the career technical side, state-of-the-art theater lighting so the students can work on various productions at a higher level. So we're excited about that. That's we just finished the bid process, got those bids in. Work should be starting in the next month or so, and that's slated for around January 2026 completion. Lawndale Athletics, we just had a ribbon cutting in October. Largely complete, still a couple punch list items, a few other things to complete. And then lastly, obviously, Hawthorne, still a lot of dirt, but a lot of progress, and we're excited to see that project largely wrap up by summer 2025. So let me show you some visuals. So Lusinger, nice overhead. If you look back, what that campus used to look like versus now, it's almost community college or a university level. The middle square that's in green, that's the Rice Auditorium. That project is funded and currently in progress. The practice gym, formerly the Lady Olympian gym, that one still needs some work. I'll show you a photo of what's still pending there. That's the one with the old Olympic torch on it. So if you're not familiar with Lusinger, back in 1932, it hosted some of the practice events for the Lusinger Olympics. And so we are, I think, the only school that's able to use the Olympic rings and torch as its logo, and the Lusinger Olympian. So a lot of history at that school, but we're looking forward to be able to complete the progress there. I've heard Mayor Robert Poland Miles say this term, be Olympics ready. So, we want to have those resources available. A couple parking lots, those are highlighted in the corners. We have some significant repair and some flooding issues, but largely a complete school there. This is Lawndale. This is very near to the ribbon cutting, so you can see a collegiate style softball, baseball field. We have a multi-purpose field that's available to soccer, football, and it's striped for lacrosse. The basketball courts, the outdoor courts are also striped for pickleball, become very popular recently. And of course, Hawthorne largely built out, Lawndale largely built out, Lenox obviously largely built out. So having more of that, open space, green space for potential partnerships is important. Gymnasium, fully air conditioned, fully equipped for volleyball, basketball, all the works. We had a council member from another city that toured the Chargers practice facility and commented that perhaps some of our facilities were a little better quality than what the Chargers are practicing on. So lastly, Hawthorne. So unfortunately, these photos are a little old. There's been more progress in the corner there. It's not all dirt, but you can see a significant amount of dirt had to be removed just because soil quality. We want to make sure we do this right. So we went through that process, plenty of analysis to make sure that we're bringing in a new soil, replacing the old soil, so that as we finish this, it'll last for the next generation. So same setup as the other schools, all complete with artificial turf. Same striping lines for the multi-purpose field. These are collegiate level baseball, softball. The dugouts even have Ethernet capabilities in them for various equipment that the teams would practice with. The football stadium, brand new LED lighting. So if you're familiar with lighting for football stadiums, a lot of them, the older ones, will bleed out into the community. These are very much designed to be bright, state-of-the-art. They have uplights so that when you throw the ball, there's no shadow underneath the ball. Fully equipped with restroom facilities, no more porta potties and things for our guests that are coming to Cougar football games. So I mentioned remaining projects. Obviously we are interested in bringing back potentially an aquatics program, some history with the city of Hawthorne, obviously, and the pool facility as it kind of, I think, went back and forth in our history. The gymnasiums that I mentioned, so you could see some of the repairs that are needed. We want to bring these facilities back to their former glory. There's, of course, long-term maintenance, livestock. We started this process, 20 years ago. Roofs expire, HVAC expires, and we are looking at ways to also potentially generate renewable energy, which would offset our operational costs and allow us to reinvest in our academic program. There was a video. I will share it with Mr. City Manager Norris, just so that you guys have kind of those programs in action in those facilities, culinary arts, et cetera. But with that, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Mayor.
All right, so that's it for Centinela. Happy to share these updates. I just want to say that all of the changes that you've seen over the past almost 20 years in our district couldn't have been done without the support of the community. So I do want to thank the community, the City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, for everything you've done to support our district. I know for working with HPD. HPD is there anytime we need them. We have a strong partnership with them. So thank you, Chief, for that. We love everything that you do as a city and as HPD does. Fire, everybody, great partners, great community, and I hope that you can all be as proud of what we have as how we are and our students are, because it's really fantastic for our students, and you can just see the change over the years for how this, all the changes at the school have had a positive impact on the students.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Let's give them a round of applause for putting this together for us. So one of the things, though, that, I know that Mayor Robert Pullen Miles claims Lusinger as one of being in the city of Lawndale and like it's his and everything. But you guys know that Hawthorne Boulevard divided. People that were west of Hawthorne Boulevard used to go to Hawthorne, and everybody east of Hawthorne Boulevard used to go to Lusinger. So, like, probably the great majority, 80–90% of the students at Lusinger are Hawthorne residents. So, I mean, it's populated by Hawthorne residents.
Through the chair.
Oh, yeah, I'm not finished. Thank you. With regards to the academies, I'm really interested in knowing what is the process in which they get selected, or do they come in applying to it, to these academies, and also what are the eligibility requirements for those?
Certainly. So our schools, like as you were talking about with attendance zones, back from the earlier years of the cities, we no longer have attendance zones for our schools, so our students can go to whatever school they want to. It doesn't matter if you live in the most southern portion of Lawndale, you can go to Hawthorne High if you want to. Also for our academies, because students go any school they want, they can choose whatever academy they like to enroll in. And we don't really have caps on our academies. So if a student wants to be in the academy, we'll make room for them.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. Thank you. Do you think the facilities that are being, the football facilities for both schools, do you think that'll even up the capabilities of both teams so that there's not lopsided all the time?
Well, what I can say is for sure, Facilities draw students. When students see amazing athletic facilities and where they want to play football and say, I want to be on that field, I want to be seen, we've seen a lot more students trying to get onto our teams now that we have the new field. So I would assume that for Hawthorne High, once the fields are built, we're going to see a bunch of people that want to coach and play on that field.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. Finally, we're going to get a little change there.
Right.
Councilor Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Dr. Newman, and thank you for your team. Actually, as a resident of Hawthorne, I am very proud to see all the progress that those three schools have made. 20 years ago, I did my internship at the Hawthorne High for council and master in education.
Yeah.
So I knew all those bungalows were there. It was like an eyesore. And now, we have a beautiful Hawthorne High on El Segundo. And definitely, I cannot wait until the fields are finished, because I know it was a little delayed because of all the rain from last year, right? But I have to say that those academy was the best thing you guys ever invent, right? Because it gives students a choice to go to different academies to prepare them actually for college. And like you said, some of them already, they have create their own business entrepreneur, so they don't need even to go to college. They just get out of the high school and find, create something like to put parts in NASA to space, to the Space International. So that has been fantastic. And I have to tell you, so this is what people of Hawthorne does not understand. Hawthorne, we have 5.9 square mile, but we have 5 school districts, with each governing body, right? So to see that Centinela Valley have done outstanding for these past 20 years, and I'm very proud to be here, to be your constituent, to be part of it. And I want you to talk a little bit about, because a lot of people out there talking about the relationship between the city and the school districts. So I want you to talk more about the partnership that we, the city, and the school district, especially on the resource office, because there is a little misunderstanding out there, and I want to make sure that people agree that the city council, we don't make laws how we govern the schools. We don't make curriculum decision. That is your job, right? Is the governing body. So, but we have relationship when it comes to safety, crescent guard, resource office. So please talk a little bit about that for me, please.
Certainly. So, we're governed by education code, and our board sets our board policies. So the city council is, not really responsible for anything on our campuses, but they are responsible for all around the campuses. So our partnership with Hawthorne Police Department, we have an SRO, a school resource officer, that's on the Hawthorne High campus, and that SRO is specially trained and selected to work with our students. Somebody who wants to work with students and is good with our students. They're there almost every day. They are there from the beginning of school to the end of school day. And what they really do is they really show students, it's their first opportunity sometimes for some of them to meet with a police officer and to see them in action on campus. They're more there for the relationship piece, but also to provide safety and security when needed. It's a bit of a deterrent. If you see a police car in front of in front of a school, you're probably not going to go in and try and do anything there. But that's not what it's about. It's not about arresting kids or chasing kids or anything like that. It's about building relationships with kids so the kids trust you, that they're going to come and tell you if there's something going on campus, and that they trust other officers in the community. They're very involved with our restorative practices program. So like I said, the disciplinary practices, we're not trying to expel students from school. We'd rather have the police officers sit in with us, with our students, when we talk to their parents, tell them about how the choices they make, how they can affect their whole life, and how to rethink that and things that could happen to them if they didn't make the right choices. So again, it's a great partnership. Very happy to have that partnership. All of the officers that have worked with us, everyone loves them on the campus. Everyone loves them in the community. The parents, in fact, always say, oh, can we get more on our campus? It's like, well, we'll see. So, so I just want to again thank the chief for everything you do for making sure that's a great program, and thank your officers who have participated in that, and the city council for letting that happen.
And thank you for that, because that is what people have to understand. And I want to say also thank you very much for the community schools, right? Because the school should be the center of the community to provide service there. And it's very important for the people to trust the school so they can feel comfortable, like they have a second home. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Certainly.
To the chair. Thank you, Superintendent. And colleagues for coming for, obviously a presentation, and thank you for allowing the council to participate in your breakfasts, where we saw firsthand the excitement that students had in an opportunity for them to choose what road, what path to take. Some students, obviously, it's not college. However, you're offering other resources and apprenticeship programs and maritime and other military services, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on and on. I'm proud mom of Lusinger High School, former PTA president at Lusinger High School. All three of my daughters graduated Lusinger High School. It's good to see the feel and how it's just come up from those years where, a worried mom looking at helicopters and sheriff cars around Lusinger all the time. I mean, look where we're at today, and we're the better for it, including the student intervention program. I wish there was something like that back when. There was a lot of students that just really were lost in a sense, as to which direction they wanted to go. It's very important also for parents to stay engaged with their students. So I just love the fact that you guys are doing that, and that we don't have a separation of where you need to go to school. It's a choice now.
Yeah.
And I know before, when I used to work at LAX area, I wanted a permit to get my kids out of the school here. But now I'm just feel fortunate to say that we've come up, we've done a lot better. And we're very supportive of everything that you're doing in academics and other choices. And so that's just the way to go. And I commend you all for your efforts and look forward to the partnerships that we have. And more importantly, allowing students to internship here at our City Hall, or possibly get letters of recommendations that could help them in their college endeavors, so that we could be able to say we all helped as not only a school, but as parents and as a community at large that really truly care for the students and for their future. So thank you so much.
Certainly. So who do we call for internships?
You could call me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly, you got that? Okay.
Thank you.
I just want one last note on my part. It was not in the not too distant past that the school district came to the residents for money, and there was a lot of just the management of all that was always kind of like up in the air as a question. But I want to commend you and your team, your school board, and your team that you have here, and everybody else who didn't show up, for the great work delivering what you say you're going to do with the public money, and being able to showcase these things for our community. So I really want to commend you. That's like honorable. So thank you for your leadership. So let's give them a round of applause for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
I
that.
have to bring them back. Yes.
We needed to mention that, man. It's the truth. So thank you so much for being here, sir.
Certainly.
We're going to have to bring you back for a recognition.
Okay, at some point.
Yes.
That'll be great.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Are there any other questions? No? All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to present a proclamation to both Sociedad Jose Marti, and they have a special guest, Mario Cartaya. Can you guys please come up to the, who is Mario Cartaya? Es ahí el señor, right? Awesome, wonderful. So, sir, right there, ahí nomás, ahí detrás de ahí, por favor. Gracias. So, the proclamation will tell you who this gentleman is, and he's a collaboration with Sociedad Jose Marti. A very important guy right here, man. He's a distinguished author, a retired architectural firm owner, and has graciously traveled to Hawthorne, California to participate in the 55th anniversary of the Verbena Cubana Festival. Mario Cartaya for this year's celebration marks his joyous return after the hiatus necessitated by the global pandemic in 2020, and he's filling our community with the event filled our community with the delightful food, vibrant dancing, and abundance of love. During this momentous occasion, Mr. Cartaya shared his poignant book, Journey Back into the Vault, which chronicles the harrowing yet inspiring tales of his family's exile from Cuba to the United States. And that's a very familiar story to the members of the Sociedad Jose Marti, for many of you. This riveting true story resonated deeply with many in our community who have endured similar journeys. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Mario Cartaya for his presence in our city and for fostering connections amongst residents and for sharing his remarkable story that unites us all. Thank you, sir. We honor you with this. Let's give him a round of applause right there. Senor Cartaya, can you share kind of like an overview of what brought you to the United States? What kind of, what stood out for you in your experiences in this journey?
Well, in the book, I talk about how I learned at the age of 8, hiding behind the balusters of our second-floor balcony in our home in Cuba, when my father had disappeared for 3 days, and he comes back. He's alive. Everything was wonderful. And then he tells the story of how 3 days earlier, 2 rebels had walked into his office demanding his ledgers with all of the properties of his American clients. And those included clients such as Frigidaire, Sylvania General Electric. My father at first refused to give that information for the government's confiscation program, was detained. During his detainment, Che Guevara went to him and tried to convince him that he had to change his point of view and to join the revolution. As one of them, my father said no. And so he was then warned that he either gave those books to the government or that they could not guarantee his life. My father did, and when he did, Che Guevara told him, if I were you, I would leave the country as quickly as you can. You have no future here anymore. So we left. We come here. What happened to me as an 8-year-old with that trauma of hearing my father talk about how the government had him in a list to either be assassinated or him to leave, my subconscious built this vault. That's part of the title, Journey Back into the Vault, to protect me from that traumatic Cuban experience and be able to focus on my American life. Over the next 60 years, I focused on that. I became an architect. I had a wonderful career. My history was read into the U.S. Congress. My history as an architect was read into the U.S. Congress, a flag flown over the U.S. Capitol. But I couldn't be happy because I knew who I had become. I'd become an architect of note. I did not know who I was because I could not remember the first 8 years of my life. So I went back. I went back hoping that the stimulus would help me remember. It did that and so much more, because for 56 years, between the day that I came and the day that I went back, I had not remembered anything. So when the memories come back, they come back uncorrupted. And so therefore, everything was pristine and clear. And it wasn't just the people and the words that were spoken and what happened in any particular place. It was also the feelings of that 6, 7, 8-year-old boy that came back. It's a beautiful experience. So I wrote the book more as a psychological thriller. And now I'm happy to say that it's gotten the attention of Hollywood. And that's why I keep coming back every month, is to meet with the director and with the writer. And we just finished this week our movie script, and now we're moving on to bring in some of the actors and some of the money to get it going. So that's why I've been coming here to LA. That's why I've been here in your beautiful city. And thank you for recognizing the book, recognizing the journey, and hopefully we can use that to inspire others who, like me, at a very young age, need to find that goal and then stick to it, and no matter what, reach their dreams. Dream, but then make it happen.
Thank you, sir. Let's give him a round of applause. I want to pose a question to you, sir. You know how they opened up the doors to go visit Cuba and everything. So if a tourist from the United States, from Europe, were to go there today, will they see the true picture of what's happening? Will they get to see, they come back, oh, we danced in the streets and people are so nice and it's so beautiful. But do they get the real picture as to what's happening with the Cuban people?
Cuba is a very complicated place with a very complicated economy and very complicated government that refuses to change. And there's the problem. The people of Cuba have had to rely on each other to survive now for over 60 years. They work as a communal existence. They call it resolviendo, which means to resolve. Every morning they wake up and they have to resolve that day. What do I eat? What do I do? There's a tremendous black market everywhere you go because every Cuban is involved in a black market because they cannot survive on the measly money that they make working there. You go there and you're going to have the tourist area, which of course is kept up, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. And then you're going to see the Cuban people who, against all odds, also maintain a sense of humor, a love for self, a love for music, a love for laughter. And it's hard to sometimes separate it, but make no mistake about it. There is a huge separation between what the tourists see and what these people live.
Yeah. I really don't think that a sack of beans and a sack of rice and maybe a chicken or half a chicken a month is a way to live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Let's give him another round of applause. I also want to recognize the Jose Marti clubs. Arlene, can you come up real quick, please? Sir, y si la puede acompañar, just stay there with her. That'd be cool, por favor. A proclamation to the Sociedad Jose Marti. The city of Hawthorne proudly honors Sociedad Jose Marti Verbena Cuban Festival for their significant contributions to our community. This year marks the 55th anniversary of the Verbena Cubana Festival, a cherished event that celebrates our rich Cuban American heritage. After a necessary hiatus due to the challenges posed by COVID-19 in 2020, the festival has returned, rejuvenating our spirits with its delightful food, vibrant dancing, and an abundance of love that united us all. The festival provides an opportunity for individuals of all backgrounds to come together, share experiences, and appreciate the beauty of Cuban traditions. The relentless dedication and unwavering contributions of the organizers, volunteers, and participants that work tirelessly to create an inclusive and joyful environment for all. Be it proclaimed that we, the city of Hawthorne, take great pride in celebrating our Cuban American community and express our heartfelt gratitude to Sociedad Jose Marti for their annual Verbena Cubana Festival that fosters community spirit and heritage. It's been signed by myself, the Mayor Pro Tem, and all the members of the council. Let's give them
Thank you so much.
Clap of thanks. Miss Arlene, could you please give us a summary of the event? Like, do you have some reportables as to how it went, numbers, please?
Yes, numbers. So in total, between donations and then the funds that were brought in that day, we made over $19,000. So thank you so much for everyone who participated, everyone who gave donations, everyone who came out that day and celebrated with us. We really appreciate the support that Hawthorne has constantly given us.
Awesome, wonderful. Let's hope. Any questions? Anybody want to say anything? Yeah, we already done.
Thank you very much for being here. Every year I go to that festival, it's a lot of fun. And I say thank you for your leadership. Thank you, Ms. Balboa, Armenian, Manuel, and the gentleman there, the president, so the vice president. Thank you for all the work you do. And Mr. Mario, thank you for your story. Because a lot of people don't understand, when you live under a dictatorship, it's very hard. And I have experienced that. I left my islands, I was 12 too, on the west coast of Africa and searched for the new world. So went to Europe and then to come to America. So this is a great country and we share about it. And your story is a story of many. And thank you to bring it, to keep it alive, right? Because Cuban people have suffering a lot and they're still suffering. But one day they'll be free, we hope. So thank you for your story.
Thank you, guys. If we could join us for a picture.
Just real quick.
Oh, okay. No,
No, no.
yeah,
I just
sorry.
wanted to express, share how much fun I had at the Cuban Festival, the energy, the people. It was great. Thank you so much for bringing that back to the city of Hawthorne. I mean, it was impossible to park to even get there. I mean, people came from far and wide, and got some really good hats there, which is great. I love hats. And Mr. Mario, is it Cartella? Yes, sir. I know. You work with our city clerk, Dana Williams-Hunter, and I'm glad that she was able to bring you to our city, and you're able to connect with the community here in Hawthorne. We definitely appreciate your presence in our city and your contribution to the community.
Yeah, go ahead.
To the chair. Again, thank you for what you do. I attended, and it was a great turnout. I purchased some things that contributed to your money growth and in donations, and it's very exciting just to see the community know that this happens every year, and they look forward to it. And I do hope at some point we coordinate all efforts to assure that there's transportation services to and from, and that everybody can get in and out safely. But I walked. I didn't have to drive. I lived just down the street, so that helped me. But the bands were great. The food was great, amazing. Your book, sir, was amazing. I know you had the book there, and we were showcasing the book. And thank you for your contributions. And more importantly, I know Dana was really hurt that she couldn't be here tonight, and she sends her regards, but she wanted to. As you know, she's studying to finish her certification for city clerking. But to the Balboas, thank you so much, because you sit here front and center every other Tuesday and just acknowledge just how proud you are for your club and your association, and all your efforts for everyone being here today just speaks loud to us on how proud.
And can I say that it would not be possible without any of the people who are sitting here?
Absolutely.
Because it's definitely a joint effort, and one that we take pride in, but one that takes a lot of sweat and a lot of tears. So we appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
And the Bilbao, they're sitting behind over there. Those two old gentlemen right there. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Please join us for a picture. Thank you. Thank you once more. Madam Clerk?
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
Daniel Granados, Hawthorne Library.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Nice to see you all again. I'll use my few minutes just to make my own mini presentation about everything we've been doing at the Hawthorne Library. This is just like the last 3 or 4 months things we've been doing. So along with my colleagues over at the Lawndale Library, we provided library cards for every incoming freshman in the Centinela Valley Union High School District. We're also working with Hawthorne School District to provide cards for every 3rd grader. And actually, because of our efforts over the last years, most of those high school students already had library cards, at least the ones from Hawthorne School District. Let's see, over the summer, we had our Summer Stars tutoring. We provided over 400 tutoring sessions for free over the summer for children. That will be returning next year as well, coming back in 2025. Earlier than the summer, I don't have an exact date yet, but pretty early in 2025, we'll be offering that again. Let's see, we attended the city's Touch a Truck event, the National Night Out, the Senior Resource Fair earlier today. We've attended numerous open houses at Hawthorne School District schools, HMSA as well. We started the Story Time with the Cop in partnership with the Hawthorne PD. That'll be coming back in November. So that's just some of the things we've been doing just in the last few months. Hawthorne Library is now one of just 6 LA County library locations to offer a seed library for gardening. So what this is, anyone can visit the library and choose 3 free packs of seeds per month to start their own garden, plant them indoors, outdoors. And it's not something just for spring. We have a lot of options for fall as well. So please stop by, take a look at that, pick up some seeds, start your garden. And that's sponsored by the Friends of the Hawthorne and Wiseburn Libraries. We're also in the middle of our In and Out cover-to-cover program. So ages 4 through 12, children can read 5 books and earn a free hamburger or cheeseburger. That runs through November 18th. The Department of Public Health will be providing the next free vaccine clinic on November 13th from 1 to 3 p.m. That will be free flu vaccinations as well as the newest COVID vaccine, the 2024-25 COVID vaccine. We just had one last week. About 25 people came and got vaccinated, so it was successful. The next Friends of the Library meeting is Tuesday, November 5th at 7 p.m. for anyone who might be interested. So that's all I had to share. Just wanted to share some things we have going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's just try to keep it quiet in the audience when people are speaking, though, please, out of respect. Thank you. Pat Donaldson?
Again, good evening. Mayor, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Patricia Donaldson, President CEO of the Hawthorne Chamber. I want to announce that October 30th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we will be giving out candy. It's a trunk or treat, and we'll be across the street from the Hawthorne Chamber. There will be also, we have a truck coming with food to give out to all the low-income families, so all kinds of food. So anyone that needs food and the kids, I'm sure, will want candy can come, and that's October 30th. And now I want to introduce to you one of our new chamber members who has one of the most beautiful dispensaries in our city. In fact, it looks better than anything that Beverly Hills, Palos Verdes, any other place. So Hawthorne is coming up the ladder. And this is Philip, and he's the owner of the Artistry, and this is his general manager, Carmen. And this is your plaque, and you want to take your 3 minutes and talk about your place.
We'll talk a little bit about our dispensary. We're a cannabis dispensary at 4756 West Imperial, right off the 105 freeway. And what's unique about our space is that we're not only a cannabis dispensary, but we're also a consumption lounge. So you can come and purchase your cannabis products and then enjoy them at the same space right next door, where we have a really nice lounge area where people can enjoy their cannabis products. We've been open since August 15th, and so far the business is doing fantastic. It's really exceeded our expectations. I've opened up stores, hundreds of stores across the country, and I will say this about Hawthorne, is Hawthorne has been a very, extremely supportive city throughout this entire process. And I've opened up stores everywhere. So thank you guys so much for being a supportive community, and we look forward to seeing everybody out. Come and enjoy your wellness products at our space. And you have? Okay, great. Thank you so much. And Carmen is a fantastic general manager there, so you'll see her often at the establishment. So thank you so much for supporting the business. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl Reichenberg.
Hi, good evening. I'm here to talk about, unfortunately, Planet Fitness and the parking lot, the 99-cent store, the fact that it's empty, but more so Planet Fitness. The fact that when it first came in, I was very excited to have that, but it has become a parking lot full of trash, full of people urinating, doing their business. There's needles there, there's rubbers. I was told by the police that they were going to start coming and clearing them out. They did come, but within an hour, they returned. The next day, they were still there. They keep coming. They do not leave the trash. And Planet Fitness has no desire to clean the parking lot. I spoke to the people that clean DD's Discounts, their parking lot. They even offered them a discount on cleaning because they are so upset over the cleaning, and then it spills over to their area where they've cleaned up. And nothing seems to be resolving this. I go to the Dollar Tree, I wait in line to pay for my items, and the homeless that live in the parking lot, I'll come in to collect their items and walk out the door while I stand in line to wait and pay. I'm on a fixed income, I'm retired, I've been in this community for over 13 years, and I am absolutely outraged at what this has become. I hear all these good things going on, but I'm not seeing it because I don't understand why the 99-cent store hasn't been, someone's not come in there, why it's still an empty place, and why the homeless there, we have one guy who was there today. Sometimes he's clothed, sometimes he's not. He walks around the area nude, and there's nothing that we can do. And I can't, my son won't let my grandkids come and stay at my house because of the parking lot and what is going on there. And I don't know what I can do. I've complained. The police have my number, and it's just gotten overwhelming. And I can't afford to move. And I don't see any improvement. I see no one coming to clean it up, no one disinfecting it. So I'm sorry, I'm here for a complaint when everyone else is here to commend everything. I'm not feeling very happy about what's going on and what's been continuing to go on in my city.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. City Manager, can you please work with the chief, the captains, and city attorney to treat this as a nuisance, and please investigate the nuisance and see what can be done. Thank you. Ma'am, there'll be somebody in the back that'll probably want to talk to you. Okay, thank you. Luciano Aguilar, Hawthorne School Board.
Good evening, Mayor and council members and other people at the dais, other leaders, city leaders. Just came up just because I've haven't been able to actually give thanks to individuals at different events that we've been having at our schools and stuff. And so I wanted to just really quickly kind of give the community an idea of what's going on everywhere as far as when it comes to education. Since Centinela Valley was here, I want to congratulate them. I had a chance on September 26th to visit their Centinela Valley Industry Partner Academy Expo, where they displayed all the things that are going on. I think growing up, our parents or the people that were raising us felt that we needed to focus on college and computers because that was the way of the future, and we forgot about the trades and how important they are. So to see them take it back there and understand that there has to be a balance and give everybody the opportunity to try different things is an amazing thing. Me being an alumni of Lusinger High School, having graduated from there, and my wife also attending that school. My sister actually was a security guard after graduating from Lusinger High School, so we have a lot of ties here in the community. On October 9th, Chief Tomatani, thank you so much for coming and giving us that presentation. The police department is amazing, and I absolutely love the stuff that you're going to be teaching our staff. I think it's really important in today's world that they have that information. Training is always crucial to avoiding bigger mishaps. On October 10th, we had a ribbon cutting for a new futsal field donated by the LAFC and Chevron, along with a $10,000 donation to go towards the children and the court. And Hawthorne native Kai Kamara, who is also on the LAFC. He plays on the LAFC with his team captain, Elay Sanchez, came to present the kids with their check and their futsal course. So that was a really nice gesture that LAFC and Chevron have done with us. Chevron has been really a really great community partner with the Hawthorne School District. October 17th, the Hawthorne President's Council held a community dinner in efforts to raise money for the holiday dinner. As president of the school district, I wanted to actually thank you guys so much for that, because I know that the Hawthorne parents, or the school district parents, are going to be benefiting from that. And so I want to thank you guys so much for doing that for our families. October 21st, just yesterday, Wiseburn had a ribbon cutting for their new state-of-the-art soccer field. It's beautiful, and I'm hoping with all this construction that's going on with all the schools, hopefully in 28 we're being used, our schools and our community is being used for practice or whatever may come. Lastly, the last few months, my family and I have learned so much, made new friends, and reconnected with old friends. I'm grateful for the experience and just wanted to thank the city of Hawthorne for allowing me the opportunity. I think that there's no greater honor that an American citizen has than to serve their community, and I just want to thank my community for giving me that opportunity and allowing me this educational opportunity the last few months. So with that, thank you very much.
James Raddick.
Good evening, City Council. I'm here to ask about what is happening with the Charter City program. Are we going to do anything? Because I'm seeing from my neighbors in Gardena and El Camino College, the city of El Camino, on the other side, that on Crenshaw and Marine, there's a project being planned to build a large low-income housing facility. And then another part is on Crenshaw and 154th. And they're big buildings. The one on 154th and Crenshaw is going to be an 8-story building, and they have 0 to none parking, according to the people that I'm talking to. That's what they were told. That's county property. The county is saying they can't do anything about it because of our state passed the law, our great leadership passed the thing that said they're in charge and they want it built. And if we don't do something, you know, if you ever travel Rosecrans, you guys need to, because it's really a messy street between Crenshaw and Inglewood, Prairie. It gets awful dirty, but there's that big lot. It used to be an old towing lot, and it sits empty. At one time, it was proposed to be a big apartment building with commercial on the bottom and low-income housing and other units. But it's just been sitting there, been waiting, and there's other properties around, if you look around our city, like the garden shop. Sooner or later, the people that are on Grill Villa there and El Segundo are going to sell their property, and we could get stuck with the same thing if we don't do something to be able to tell the state, no, we have our laws and our zoning rules and what we need. You don't need it? Go someplace else, because it's nice to help, but they're dumping. They're allowing these big facilities to be built, and the cities don't have a chance to say anything. You're fighting the state. You're fighting Sacramento, and the state assembly, they don't care. They look good on when they pass that stuff for votes. So can we restart that, get it going again, so that we could try to beat something of this out? I know we tried once and it failed. We've talked about it since then, and that's about all we're doing is talking. I don't know how much you guys talk about it, but we got to start planning something, or else we're going to be catching the same stuff.
Your time is up, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening out.
Gordon Michael Migo. Gordon Michael Migo. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Sure enough. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Gordon Michael Migo, native and resident of Hawthorne since October the 8th, 1952. First off, I just wanted to say thank you for the happy birthday wishes to me at the last meeting. Much appreciated. Over the centuries and the millennia, the climate on Earth has changed in many ways, such as temperature variations, hot to cold to hot, and so on. Rainfall totals, heavy to moderate to light, and so on, which are caused by natural cycles of the planet in relation to the sun and other forces, more so than human-related factors. If climate change were mostly or solely caused by human beings and modern civilization, as some people in government academia have stated, then why do they propose, enact, and implement laws, plans, and so on that are contrary to the quality of life for the people in our communities? Governor Gavin Newsom and the state legislature of California had the audacity to enact SB 9, SB 10, and other bills that strip the authority of cities and counties over land use decisions as it applies to residential development and communities. As a result, the state is demanding that local governments approve construction plans for high-rise, or I should say high-density housing projects up to 6 stories near busy Metro bus stations, 9 stories near Metro rail stations, even in single-family neighborhoods of cities which are overcrowded with people as it is already. And that's a health and safety issue that is one of the exemptions under even SB 9, SB 10, which I think would be a very good legal tactics to employ against the high density stuff. We, the people of California, expect government officials at every level to adhere to the principles of local control and to respect the Constitution in California and the United States of America. The cities of the South Bay region of Los Angeles County and beyond must join together and seek various remedies to overturn disastrous policies of state government in California that have affected the people during the 21st century. And I might add that on the November ballot, kind of related to taxation and all that is Proposition 5. That needs to be voted down by the people in droves. And what it basically does, it will allow, if enacted, it would allow government and other taxing agencies to more readily pass
Your time
tax
is up, sir.
increases. So I would very strongly urge a no vote.
Your time is up, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Rob Williams?
All right, good evening, everybody. Rob Williams, 32-year resident of the city of Hawthorne. This is the last city council meeting before the election, so I wanted to take this time to remind everyone to get out, vote, but vote smart. So last time, I brought up a flyer that was sent out by our person in the middle seat. Well, he sent out another one attacking Miss Reyes English again. Interesting. His name's there. He's not endorsing anybody. He's got a lovely picture of you. But there's no endorsement. He's not endorsing himself. He's not even endorsing his 2 puppets that he wants for city council. But, you know, it is what it is. Don't put a liar back in the mayor's seat in the next election. Don't buy into this man's constant lies and gaslighting. He wants a 3rd term as mayor, but does he really need to be rewarded? If we had a child that was making stuff up like this, would we put up with this? Why should we allow a grown man to do this? Doesn't make sense. We got 3 other candidates running for mayor. We have Councilman Dr. L. David Patterson. We have Luciano Aguilar. We have Thelma Williams, my cousin. All of whom would be more acceptable than what we have now for a mayor. Now, finally, I want to give a shout out to our awesome city clerk, Dana Williams Hunter. By the way, it's Dana Williams Hunter, not Dana William Hunter. Please get the name right when you're talking about her. And for all the hard work that she and her staff are doing in the city clerk's office. So get out and vote your butts off get up and vote your butts off, Hawthorne. Big election.
Anybody else wishing to address the city council from line?
Evening, Mayor, City Council, and city officials. Just give you an update. My cancer, they didn't get it all. I was talking to the chief about it before the council meeting tonight. So I'm just waiting to see what this VA is going to try to do for it. I was told we got it all. Well, then after the last test, he said, no, we didn't get it all. So I enjoyed the 2 other matters. The spaghetti dinner, the community dinner, I showed up for. I always support the city events when I can and when I'm around, or sometimes I can remember. The senior fair today was pretty nice. It was first time I've seen the 2 shuttle buses, vans that we had out there. It's we've in front of our church on Eucalyptus and El Segundo at 4679, we've gotten people dumping trash in our back gate going to the dumpster. People leaving furniture and tires and their garbage in front of our gate. And every weekend I'm there taking care of the property. I make sure that the church is the property's cleaned and to the public. When I take care of the sidewalk between our church and Turo. I don't blow any leaves or anything on the next business. I take care of the business from eucalyptus to Turo, and I take care of the two neighboring businesses, the liquor store and the laundromat, when I blow our property off. But we're getting numerous times like right now, I just, with Waste Management was here today, I told her we've gotten, we got a spare tire people keep putting in on the church property and just leaving it there when they, and we've got a dresser drawer about, as long as, I don't know if it's a nightstand or what it is, it's been sitting there. Sometimes I've seen things sitting there and city, public works just drive by it like they don't see it. I don't know if they know it's there. Well, they can't see it if cars are blocking it, but we've had things by the post office and
Your time is up, sir.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
How you guys doing? I'm going to be super quick. My name is Richard Harrison. I want to get an update on the urgent care. So I want to get an update on that. I know the last time I came here, it was presented. So I want to know if we're making any progress on it and where we're at on that. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
We can't respond.
You can't respond.
If
Okay,
you're making
anyway.
an inquiry, that's
yeah,
different.
making an inquiry. So also too is that look, as the lady was saying earlier, is that Hawthorne. Look, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but Hawthorne needs a facelift. You know, I've been this since 1985, and it looks the same. In fact, it looks worse. I mean, we have so much potential. You know, people call Hawthorne the shotgun city, the pass-through city, the little city that could, because we have so much potential. We have this big mall, I call it the Big Turd, that's been sitting across there since 1999, okay? We got a lot of businesses, a lot of buildings that are empty, that we know that there is just so much potential. Because look, you can't go, because Inglewood has been overbuilt. You can't go west. You can't go south. It gets more expensive. We got freeway access. We're close to the airport. This city is so strategically located. So I don't know if we can come up with, we can be an incubator. If Elon Musk leaves, fine, let his crazy ass go. That can be a WeWork. We can chop that up and be a WeWork there. If we can recruit corporations, because see, we have a lot of small businesses. If you notice east of Hawthorne, we have liquor stores on every corner. We have check cashing places, 5 food restaurants, which is 8 times more concentrated in black neighborhoods than it is in white neighborhoods. If you go west of Hawthorne, you don't see liquor stores on every corner. You don't see fast food. You don't see Nick check cashing places. They put this stuff in our neighborhood. Why are they doing that? Because they get permits in our neighborhood, and they won't give those to Holly Glen. So what I want is, if we go from Rosecrans all the way to Imperial, if you see the most updated, beautiful building, it's a police station. It should be a business, you know what I mean? That brings tax revenue. If you got the black unemployment in the city is 20%, if you got 10% of people living below the poverty line, if we become a business sector like we can, man, this city will be something like, I mean, I just imagine what this city will be if we do a good job of getting business in here. I mean, big, like some type of corporation. I see so much potential. This bothers me. Every time I drive down Hawthorne Boulevard, it bothers me as a resident since 1985. And it looks the same. In fact, I think we're making a U-turn. So I know it takes boldness. I know it's tough there's an intersection between the private business sector and politics. I get it. You can't wave a magic wand and everything gets better. I get your jobs are difficult, but we got to get busy on this. Thank you.
Next, please.
Hello, I'm Eve Long. I own a property on Birch, and we were pretty happy until maybe the last couple of months. I do want to say thank you to Alex and code enforcement. He comes out soon as we call. We had to call the city manager because somebody is tagging Black Killer on our fence now. And lately I've been seeing hospital dump patients on Imperial, passed out by where they're building the Marriott. There is something changing with there's something changing within the city lately. There's something changing lately where I'm seeing people dumped at nighttime. There's drugs being passed, feces. I wasn't a part of the community until we start rehabbing our home in La Cañada, and then we're here. And I got 2 dogs, so I'm walking. I see feces on the street. I see needles on the street. It's just different lately. I'm walking. You guys are coming out, so I'm not going to give you the bad without the good. When I pick up the phone, you guys are coming. I really appreciate that part. But lately, I'm seeing vans of people getting dropped off in the neighborhoods. I'm meeting a local business owner because I used to whip to hire people locally because that's what I do. I seen Arco get robbed while walking in there the other day. There's something changing in this community, and it needs to be addressed. These big buildings being empty, I agree with him. I love Hawthorne, but with robbery, graffiti, I don't want to come paint my gate. I don't want to see somebody putting black killer on my gate, and I got to get it done over. And we sanded it down. They came back the very next week. We got people sleeping in the carport. It's something that is changing, and I don't know if another community is dumping people here. There's a change along Imperial, there's a change along El Segundo, and it needs to be addressed. It really, really does, because the city is actually changing for the worse. On Birch, we never had any problems. We have problems now. We're starting to have problems. And I know you guys can't answer me, but as a small community, I feel we can all get together and make a few changes. I mean, your staff is awesome. The police, they come. We call, they come. But it's bigger than what they can do at that instance. I'm just looking for something that we can change and talk about and move forward with it. I mean, when I'm walking down by the mall, I had somebody pull a knife on me with my dog.
Your time is up, ma'am.
Thank you. You guys have
Somebody in the back is ready to talk to you, to get details from you. Okay.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ruben Sanchez. I'm with the North Hawthorne Community Association. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you, Mr. Von Norris. That seniors fair you guys had today was awesome. It was great. I just took a couple of minutes, came on down here. It was very positive. That's exactly what we need in the city. Hope it grows. Keep on going. You and your crew. Special shout out for the housing department. They were out there. They were advocating. They were talking to people. They were interacting. That's what we need from the city, to interact more with the community as they are. I wanted to mention a few things. When it comes to the homeless situation, which everyone knows, we've been up here talking about it. A lot of people don't understand that there's a structure to it. You see, I went up to Eureka many years ago, and that's how you see the structure up in Eureka, California. It's beautiful. It used to be a beautiful coastal city, and how they start is that they start providing all these amenities, and when the amenities are provided, the homeless will come and continue to stay. And that's what's happening right now. So I know somebody mentioned in regards of like, hey, we have to do something. I know our city attorney is working in regards of the Hawthorne Mall. He's doing a great job. And it's all residents and city attorney powered. But you see the drawings on the wall. Right now, you're talking about, oh, we see a lot of liquor stores and so on. And it's true, we do have a lot of those. But guess who put them in? The majority of this panel. The majority of this panel were the ones who voted for that. And that's why we need new people. And that's why North Hawthorne Community Association is going to be endorsing Mrs. Marie Poindexter, Faye Johnson, and Mr. Mayor Alex Vargas, because we need real change. And we need some real change, and with some maturity. So just by saying that, please be quiet, I'm speaking here. Okay, so once again, thank you, and we can start working with fixing this homeless issue. But we need that change, and that's the way to do it. We personally met with meet and greets. We had our board members to go and meet and greet. We usually just talk to them personally, but no, we have new board members that came into the meet and greets and talked to them, and they love the vision of what Marie Poindexter pointed out. They love the vision that Faye Johnson has. They love your vision, and they know you stood up for us, Alex. When it came to the Charter City, everybody walked out, and you stood up. And that's what everybody wants. They want leadership like that. Other people cannot see it. You know, obviously somebody's making little faces over here with emotions. But in reality, you stood up. And that's the reason North Hawthorne have always supported you. This has been a very weird election. A lot of, like, there's people that I used to, like, we were talking, and then all of a sudden, yeah. Okay, so there's 2 timekeepers here now?
Yeah. Thank you.
Good, wonderful evening, Honorable Mayor, council members.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am. Mr. Police, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, if there's people yelling or calling out from the audience, they're going to be removed if it continues. Okay? Thank you. Ma'am, go ahead.
Restart my time, please. I'm
Can
sorry.
you restart our time?
Thank you. As I said, good evening, good wonderful evening, Honorable Mayor, council members, beautiful department heads. Lethell Williams, a candidate for mayor for this wonderful city of Hawthorne. You hear the cry of the people. We must take this point in time to go and vote and make a difference. That's how you really make a difference. It's truly how you make a difference. And before I go off into left field, I want to say the new logo is wonderful, but you're hearing from the community that the logo right here in the chamber, the white writing on it, you can't see any of the wording. So they asking if it could be in blue as you see it on our city vehicles, even on the monitor, if it could be in blue so the community could really acknowledge what it really says. They're having trouble with that. And at the last meeting, it was brought up about insurance. And insurance is very important, and not only was brought up about insurance, to have Hawthorne to be in Sacramento's ears, hearing us loud and clearly. Because when I get elected, I will definitely be in Sacramento all the time, writing to them, letting them know about this wonderful city and our needs from the community. It is very important. Insurance is a very important thing for us to reach out on, and not for other council members to say, okay, you didn't support my thing that I brought to the council, and everything was just put out plainly. It's important for us to make a change, to hear these community people. And for the mall, we want a convention center. A convention center, something that no other community has. A convention center will bring so many different things. And there was a committee put together. A committee was put together to bring in new businesses. I would like to work with that committee, because the thing is, we need the old hometown buffet. We need it to be an Applebee's. We need it to be a Roadhouse restaurant, something that other communities don't have. So it was very, very important for me to come up before you today. And before I leave, I love Centinela Valley. It is truly a part of City of Hawthorne. And since that measure passed, and I have been vice chairperson on that committee for the Centinela Valley, the oversight committee for the citizens, for about 5 years now. And as you can see, there is so much progress in the community for our kids, which my child graduated from Lou Zinger and the other one from Hawthorne High. Please, let's keep building this city and vote for a change. Don't just talk about it. Take this opportunity to get out and vote for new council members. Your time is up. Thank you so much. Lethell Williams for mayor.
Okay. No further speakers? If not, I declare oral communication close. Ordered. Madam Clerk, your consent calendar, please.
Mr. Mayor, I have 6 items on the consent calendar. There are items 6 through 11 for your consideration and approval. Item 6, approval of the waiver of full readings of resolutions and ordinances. October 22nd, 2024's agenda. Item 7, City Treasurer requests approval of the warrants. Item 8, approval of City Council meeting minutes for the regular meeting of September 24th, 2024, and the successor agency meeting minutes for the special meeting of September 10, 2024. Item 9, Resolution 8493, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, accepting a Safe Streets and Roads for All grant SS4A from the United States Department of Transportation's Federal Highway Administration in the amount not to exceed $200,000 to complete a comprehensive safety action plan and authorizing and ratifying the Director of Public Works' execution of grant documents. Item 10, Resolution 8494, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, urging the governor to declare a state of emergency over the soaring insurance premium rates and abandonment of homeowners insurance coverage by the insurance companies and for the insurance commissioner and the legislatures to bring a solution to assist the homeowners. Item 11, Resolution 8495, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, proclaiming October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. Voting reflect Mayor and Council approving items 6 through 11.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's see. Bids, openings, and results. Ma'am?
Item 12, now is the time and place to declare publicly received sealed bids for the City of Hawthorne Senior Center Project Number 24-03. There were 6 bids received. All were accompanied by a bidder's bond. The prices are as follows. Keystone Builders Incorporated of Anaheim, California, $15,899,000. Newman Midland Corporation of Long Beach, California, $18,477,496. Art Construction Incorporated of Glendale, $19,200,000. New Dynasty Construction Corporation, $15,218,506 of Tustin, California. Woodcliff Corporation of Los Angeles, $15,652,000. PNC3 Incorporated of Los Alamitos, $14,445. Sorry, let me reread that for the record. $14,445,000.
Oh, you got it. I move to refer to staff.
I make a motion.
I made the motion. Would you like to second it?
Oh, you just said recommend. I didn't hear a motion.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects Mayor and Council approving this item.
The public hearings, please.
Item number 13, now is the time and place for a public hearing to gather public comments on community needs and priorities for incorporation into 2025 through 2029 Consolidated Plan and 2025 through 2026 Action Plan. Recommended motion, the staff recommend that the City Council, 1, conduct a public hearing to receive comments from members of the public concerning housing and community development needs, program performances, and strategies for affirmatively furthering fair housing. 2, close the public hearing.
Is there anybody who wants to speak on this? If not, I'll declare oral communications close ordered. Ma'am, could you read the ordinance into the record? I think that's the next section, right?
Yes. Item number 14, ordinance number 2254, second reading, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, adding and enacting Chapter 9.62, Unlawful Conduct, Political or Campaign Signs, Banners, and the like to Title IX, Public Peace, Morals, and Welfare. Division 5, Offenses Against Property of the Hawthorne Municipal Code, and making a finding of exemption in compliance with CEQA in connection therewith for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Please vote.
City Attorney, I also have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Councilmember Montero?
The votes are in. The voting reflects Mayor and Council approving item number 14.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't have the full bill. I just wanted to know if there was fees or fines attached to this?
Generally, the punishment for violation of the municipal code is $1,000 as a misdemeanor and up to 6 months in county jail. Those are under another section of the ordinance where it specifies that. So this is, as an ordinance, if there's a violation, it would be a misdemeanor. There's also the ordinance allows the city attorney at its discretion to file the case as a misdemeanor or as an infraction or administrative citation.
Thank you.
City manager's consent calendar, ma'am, please.
Item number 15, progress payment number 3 in the amount of $459,420 due to Pardes Air Incorporated of Los Angeles, California for Hawthorne Memorial Center HVAC System Upgrade Project 23-08. Item number 16, agreement between the City of Hawthorne and the City of Inglewood for supplemental law enforcement medical director services. Item 17, Hawthorne Public Housing Agency implementation of small area fair market rent SAFMR payment standards. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 15 through 17?
Motion.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving items 15 through 17.
The city attorney's consent calendar, please.
Item 18, claim for property damage and bodily injury by Maria del Rosario Sindon. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council deny the claim by Maria del Rosario Sindon. Item 19, claim for the property damage and bodily injury of Emmanuel Izuma. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council deny the claim by Emmanuel Izuma. Item 20, funding request for administration receivership account in the amount of $100,000 for the current fiscal year. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council approve the additional funding in the amount of $100,000 to administration receivership account number 100-1501-000-40744, encumber for the same, and approve the change in the blanket purchase orders for Civica Law Group to reflect the increase. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city attorney's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 18 through 20?
Second. Please vote.
For the record, I'll make the motion. I didn't have my mic on.
Okay.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving items 18 through 20.
We have a discussion item on the Inglewood Transit Connector. Councilmember Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The reason that I brought this issue to the council because on Thursday, the October 24th, I am going to give a vote to the South Bay COG where the is going to be a final vote to this project because the mayor of Inglewood and the city council have requested from the South Bay COG a loan of $493 million for their project they call the Inglewood Transit Corridor Connection, ITC. This project is going to be $2 billion for the city of Inglewood. The state of California have committed $500 million. The federal government have committed $1 billion. But the city of Inglewood, in order to obtain that $1 billion from the federal government, they have to have almost like a down payment, a matching grant. They have to show that they have money to finish the project. So the South Bay COG, it's the South Bay Governor's Council that is made up of about 18 cities, include 2 counties, right? County of Los Angeles and some. So we're going to vote to give Inglewood this loan. They're going to pay it with interest. And the Measure M dollar comes from the Metro. It was a Measure M that was voted by the voters that generates millions of dollars every year through the sales tax. Okay? So this money basically is for transit. Major is highway money. So this money usually comes to the South Bay COG for project that each city would submit proposal to the South Bay COG. So now the money is going to give Inglewood, per se, a loan to be able to give, in order to get $2 billion for the project. So there was a lot of questions out there. What would happen to our cities, different cities, all these 18 cities, if they had some other, transit project, if it was going to be money? The Metro board that usually gives this money have said it will be money for cities to do projects. They think about maybe $50 to $60 million every year that would come for cities that submit projects for transit, for street improvement, et cetera, et cetera. So there is pros and cons, right? Some people have said yes, some people have said no. But last Monday, the Transportation Committee from the South Bay COG recommend the full board to vote yes on the project. The project is being supported by the county supervisors, Holly Mitchell, Janice Hunt, the Congress Ted Lieu, the state of California, the Metro board that is in charge of Measure M to distribute the money. They have guaranteed us that the money is going to be just a down payment, and maybe even Inglewood will not use the money, but it's just to have that money into their account to show the federal government that they were willing to finish this project, right? The transit, Inglewood Transit, is going to be like almost like when you go to Disneyland, you see that little train going around. So it's going to be like that. It's going to go from LAX all the way through Century, Florence, all through the venues, okay? And we know there is some, for example, Congresswoman Maxine Waters have opposed the project because she feels that money should be spending in affordable housing and to prevent some of the schools to close in Inglewood. But this money is for transit. It's not for affordable housing. It's not for schools. But all the venues, the ramps organization, the Intuit Dome, the Clipper, have support the project. And like I said, Thursday night, I'm going to vote, but I didn't want to be a solely vote from Hawthorne. I want my council members to understand the project, and all of you have received all the documents showing that Inglewood Transit is going to diminish traffic in our streets, diminish traffic in our freeways on 105, 405, 110 freeway, and it's good for the environment, and it's good for the South Bay in overall, because we know it's going to have a lot of people is going to come to this area in 2026 for the FIFA Soccer World Cup and also the Olympics, right? So this project actually benefit all the South Bay, all these entire cities. And that is where on Monday, 15 cities vote yes. Only 3 vote no. But I didn't want Alex Montero to give a vote for Hawthorne without the consent of my colleagues, because on Thursday night, 6 o'clock, I have to vote yes or no on the project. So I'm willing to answer any question that you have, and that's it.
Councilmember Montero, I'm willing to make a motion.
All right.
I move.
Can there be discussion?
Yeah, but I
before
just
you
made a
jump-
motion.
Before you jump to a motion?
Ma'am. There's a
heard you.
motion,
I
and the
heard you.
discussion can take place
I
after.
heard you.
Okay, so I mean,
I heard you.
Just
Okay, so I second the motion. Did you
Okay.
second the motion? Oh, I second the motion.
What was the motion
to proceed with
To
this.
say yes.
Just want to be clear.
To vote yes, right?
His vote.
I have to tell me to vote yes on Thursday night.
Go ahead with the discussion.
To the chair.
Well, if there's a motion and there's a second, there's got to be a vote before discussion, right?
Okay, that's fine.
I think you have discussion before the vote, right?
We'll allow for discussion before the vote.
There should be a discussion before a vote.
A discussion before vote.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
As I understand what I think you said, we choose to give our portion of the potential loan money that we would get to Inglewood for them to be able to possibly use this money for their people, commuter, right? So, but you also said that if we had potential, as I understand, transportation projects, that the Metro Board would still give us money.
Yes, the Metro Board has said that because they anticipate that even when we loan this money to Inglewood, we still, the Measure M is going to generate $3.5 billion a year. And some of that money, believe it or not, the Measure M, 20% have to go to affordable housing, but the majority, 80% have to go to transit, like freeway and street improvement. And they are saying that even when they give Inglewood this money, it will still money coming because people still, there will still sales tax available every year. So they estimate that South Bay, the COG, will receive probably $50 to $60 million for new projects, street improvement, for example, that will come to the South Bay. But if, for example, Hawthorne, we, one of the cities, have taken a lot of benefit from the Measure M and R because we have done a lot of street improvement. So we don't know what the future will tell, but we know the Metro have said they will still have money for projects.
So is it decided how much of the money that our portion that we're giving to the city of Inglewood?
No, it's not an individual portion. It's basically
It's a pot of money.
It's a pot of money that's supposed to come to the South Bay COG. That is 18 cities, include San Pedro, right?
Right.
And non-incorporated areas. That it comes to the South Bay, like say $500,000, and then each city would submit proposal to South Bay COG for their projects for street improvement or freeway improvement. And then that money goes, it depends. Like, for example, Hawthorne might have got 20 million, right, to do street improvement for these past 3 years, right? So, and then some other city might have got 2 million. So that is based on the project and the future project that's coming. So there is not per se Hawthorne is going to put 10 million. It's not like that.
So what is our financial benefit? Not the other stuff that you've already mentioned. I'm aware of that stuff. But the financial benefit of doing this project or supporting this project now, not 20, 30 years from now when we get the money from Metro. I'm talking about now us agreeing to participate to give them this money, 480 million? Yes. What is our 491 million. What is our financial gain?
Well, the financial gain, what they're telling us, they're showing us the analysis they have done, right? For example, it's going to create 7,200 jobs, 7,200 jobs, right? And it's going to make people come to this area, dining and shopping and entertainment, right? And they don't have to be stuck on traffic. And then, we are going to benefit also, right? Because we know we're close to Inglewood than these other cities per se. And so the most benefit for us, and we're going to see a decrease in traffic during those games, during those entertainments, venues come. So we're going to see a decrease in traffic, decrease in congestion on our street, less pollution. So it's going to benefit us not just economically, but also, environmental.
Right, but the question was financial benefit.
Financially, let me give you an example. One of the hotel owners in this area told me that they would love to have Taylor Swift come every year to do 3 nights concert because he said he made more money in those 3 nights the whole entire year. Okay, so it is a lot of financial benefit to. They're saying to all the cities, not just Inglewood, Hawthorne, but the entire South Bay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To the chair. So I'm reading a little bit here, and I'm reading the potential impacts for Hawthorne. And just to give some perspective, I think it's important that we let the community know some of the impacts. Hawthorne has secured $70 million in Measure R funding, and $8 million of that Measure M. So 2 different measures that total that dollar amount, $70 million. This is funding for its projects. Okay, so that's $70 million. However, with $40 million of it already spent, the $40 million is spent basically for the designs that we're making here in the city of Hawthorne, which include the city has received funding for design phases for upcoming projects, including Rosecrans Avenue, Crenshaw Boulevard, El Segundo, 135th Street, and I have another question to 135th Street, Jack Northrop Avenue, Van Ness Avenue, and Inglewood Avenue. There are concerns about future funding availability for the construction phase when Hawthorne submits its request, right? But as we know, our city departments, our department heads are always applying for grant funding. And so I want to stay positive when it comes to design phases that we're already in and want to continue to push and to make requests to our departments and those that are finding and fulfilling grants for our city to keep pushing, because at the end of the day, there's discussion up here with regards to what that looks like in the future for Hawthorne. The South Bay region is now recognized as a sports and entertainment region, which means you have El Segundo with the Chargers, the Kings, the Lakers. You have Inglewood with SoFi, Intim Dome, the Clippers. You have all these sports and entertainment. At one time, I was even pushing for Angel City Football Club to come to Hawthorne. So just to give you an idea, there's eyes on the South Bay region for a purpose. Los Angeles is really overkill. So the South Bay region has become very popular. It's starting to grow. It's expanding. I actually attended the Clippers' first game at the Intim Dome. That was my first time at the Dome. But I also noticed, you know, how congested it was. You know, not only are you paying $75 for parking, you have a lot of different direction that's being given to you when you arrive, when you exit, and then everyone's trying to race to the nearest closest street to get on the 105 freeway to be able to go east. And then you've got the 405, everybody's trying to jump on that to go north. So I say this because as we continue to grow, and we do have outlets for the Gold Cup in 2025, 26, the Olympics in 2028, and there's really great potential. I'm hoping by that time, you know, I know there's discussion about this, you know, ugly mall across the street. Can't say too much about that. I know, city attorney, but maybe at some point that'll resolve itself, and then there's opportunities for Hawthorne, right? Whatever that might look like. So I just want to stay positive. Although we might be giving some of our funding for transit purposes to be able to move people a little bit quicker, and you know, find you know, some positive thinking on how we, you know, how we get on board to be a part of this really an explosion of things to come, positive things to come. I'm really happy about the LAX People Mover and what that looks like, because for most folks that don't know, LAX has grown so much that it needs its own transit system just to drop you off at your gate. And I'm glad it's finally here. There might be a little bit, behind on that, but I'm glad that it's finally here. And then to be able to pull up in a rent-a-car, drop your car off, and then jump on a tram to take you to your gate. I mean, it's streamlining things, not making things difficult, and that's my hope. And with regards to projects that continue to push here in Hawthorne, I know we have some 30-some projects. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing, and at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of interest for our area, and I just want to be ready for that. And I think it's important that everyone be informed, be aware of the things that we have to debate up here, but more importantly, where everyone stands with regards to what that looks like for the growth of Hawthorne, for the growth of potential, additional housing, things that some folks, are not very comfortable about. But at the end of the day, we can't control people. We can't control people and where they choose to live and where they choose to settle as families again. So I thank you, Vaughn, for the letter that you provided us with regards to the impacts, with regards to the importance of the Inglewood Transit Corridor and what that means for us, especially, again, the congestion along the Prairie Avenue and the 105 freeway, what that could potentially help with. It's also going to promote the economics stimulation to our city. It's got lots of benefits and obviously, offer an environment improvement throughout the area. And, we have yet to see that. There's still some things that we're working on, especially when it comes to green energy and, our green environment. I know we did good with our Clean Power Alliance of Southern California going 100% renewable, but at the end of the day, all of this is just coming together, and we could see it already. We could see the growth already. I would be willing to support that, Councilmember Montero, and I'm glad that you brought it to us and that you're letting us know potentially what our stance is. But I do want the folks to know here in the audience, especially the projects that we're working on, the impacts that are potential. But at the end of the day, we're going to keep pushing for additional funding, additional grants, and I'm going to stay positive with regards to transit.
Yes.
To the chair.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I just have one more question. I just want to be clear. If they decide to take that loan for $491 million, would we be responsible for helping to pay them to pay that loan back?
No. Inglewood have to pay that money back.
Even the interest, like we don't have to pay the interest, we don't have to pay anything.
No. That's Inglewood have to pay it back, and believe it or not, it will be a contract that will be established between Inglewood, the Metro, and the South Bay Co-op. So they have to pay that money with interest if they use that money.
Right.
Because right now they need this money is to be able to submit to the federal government.
They need collateral
to get that $1 billion.
I get that.
And just to because I misspoke, actually the ITC is going to create 17,000 jobs. Okay, not 7,000, 17,180,000 jobs, okay? And then down the road is estimate that this area would have about 97,700 workers because of the project
the South
in
Bay.
the South Bay.
Yeah. So that 17,000 would be divided amongst the 19 or 18 people that.
It'll be depending on the skills of the work that we have. For example, Hawthorne people can go and apply for those jobs, right?
Right.
And because we already know we have a good relationship with the Inglewood, especially with our Hawthorne PD and everything like that. So those are the kinds of relationship we have to continue to build to make sure that Hawthorne will take a piece of the pie down the road, and to satisfy some of the constituent that just came to say that Hawthorne's still stagnant, right? We're not doing it, so.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Thank you all.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving item number 21.
Next item, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. As you all know, I sit on the board of the Baldwin Hills and Urban Watershed Conversity. At a meeting that I had just recently, 2 weeks ago, we were talking and an idea popped up in my head when we were talking about grants. And so the idea came up. I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if we had money, which is still left, that they have to use by June 2026, for our bathrooms, our parks, to remodel our park bathrooms. And so I know we haven't had them updated or remodeled in quite some time. So what I was asking today is if my colleagues would give permission for our city manager to pursue and apply for the grant that the Baldwin Hills and Urban Watershed has available. But just also wanted to let you all know that the funding is 75% and that we would have to add a 25% with that to remodel our bathrooms at our parks.
Through the chair. Yeah, sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Yeah, I concur.
One part?
Apply for all the
No,
parks.
it would be, depending on the amount of money, it would be go to, I'm gonna defer that to our city manager to determine what park, which one would get the money first. But the money is really to remodel all of our parks, but it's not gonna be enough to remodel all of our parks, but so we would go for the parks that need the most attention to.
Yep, if I could make a comment. The Hawthorne Park currently, where we have all the concerts in the park, where we have all the events taking place, I don't know if you all noticed this, but that structure, the structure that was there, right, was removed, and it's for the new exercise equipment to go in, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So that would be ideal for me if we could start there with regards
Yeah,
to.
but the money is for.
No, I get it.
Specifically to remodel the bathrooms.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If we could, I'm talking about how much use the park has, right? And how desperately it needs a remodel at Hawthorne Park is what I'm saying. So with everything taking place with the whole new senior center, all the events that take place at Hawthorne Park, and I know there's other parks that need it because I've gone to those restrooms and I was actually shocked that some of them didn't have doors. Yeah, peekaboo. But anyway, I would love to start there. But that's fine.
We have concurrence, don't we?
Yeah, bring the money.
All right, concurrence.
Don't give them the money, bring the money.
Anybody opposed? Okay.
Do we need a vote on this, city attorney? Thank you. Do I need to give direction to the city attorney or, city manager, we're good?
No, you've
Thank
already
you.
done that.
Thank you, colleagues, I appreciate it.
For sure. No, thank you for taking the initiative, bringing it to our attention. Elected officials reports recommendation, Ms. City Treasurer.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out, being a part of the process as always. Thank you for spending your evening with us. Have a safe upcoming Halloween this upcoming week. I wanted to say congratulations to the awardees for the Good Neighbor Awards. It was good to see that. A big kudos to Kawana and her staff today because the Senior Resource Fair was quite wonderful and we had great weather. It was good to see everyone come out. We had 3 CDs mature this month, so we reinvested. We got over 3% on all our rates. One of them even captured a 4% rate, so that was good this time. I wanted to address someone's comment. My name is Marie Poindexter, candidate for City Council. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anything from the city clerk's office on behalf of the city clerk's office?
Yes, we do. We are just congratulating the nominees for the Good Neighbors Awards. It's always very motivating and encouraging to see my coworkers doing such a great job. We are also congratulating the Sociedad and Mr. Cartaya on their proclamations this evening. And I also want to send a shout out to our city clerk who is graduating this week, earning her CMC certification. And just a reminder about the food drive that is going to be on November 2nd at 9 a.m. And that concludes the city clerks.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilmember Montero?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. Great meeting. I want to say, again, congratulations to all the ladies that received the award for the Good Neighbor. Thank you, Erica, for bringing that outstanding to keep the momentum going. It's good to see us reward the employees, for the hard work, especially in 22 years working for us. That's a long way, right? Thank you. I want to say, the seniors resource fair this morning was fantastic. Thank you all the staff from Vaughan to the Community Service Department to the Seniors Service Commission for their participation and encouragement to do this every year. I want to commend all of them because, they received this beautiful proclamation from the LA County Board of Supervisors, Holly Mitchell's office, and we know that Tina McCanning's office was here, and also Steve Bress's office was here. So all those providers providing vital resources to our seniors, because we know seniors is a very vulnerable population. They're on fixed income, and they need all the help that we can get them. So thank you for putting this together. And yes, the weather was perfect right here in front of City Hall, and that is a prelude what it should become in 2 years, a destination for a lot of events. So thank you for that. Like somebody mentioned, thank you for all of you who participate on the Hawthorne President's Council Community Dinner. That night we raised about $5,200, and I'm hoping money's still coming. And you know that the money that we raise is going towards Thanksgiving and Christmas for the needy families, especially from the Hawthorne School District. So thank you for all your participation and donation. Again, I want to say, thank you for the Cuban Club, Jose Martin, to keep the spirit of liberty and freedom among ourselves, right? Even we know your people in Cuba still suffering, but like I said, one day we will see freedom reign there too also. So thank you for those events that keep the spirit alive. Also, I want to mention that, the gentleman brought up, the state intervening in our government, right? SB 9, SB 10. And this morning, I was just listening that the governor signed a bill about allowed big warehouse close to residential areas, like 300 feet. Okay? So that's the kind of things that we were trying to prevent with the charter city. It was to make sure that we have the ability to govern without interfering of the state. But unfortunately, it was misunderstanding. So, and I was going to be good. I promised myself I was not going to say nothing, but because, again, people come to that podium and lie to you, right to your face. For example, I don't recall approve no liquor license in this city. I've been here long time. And none of my colleagues over here, I don't recall us vote for liquor license. Those liquor stores been open for decades. Decades. We didn't vote on them. So I hope people would come and tell the truth, because the truth will set you free. But continue to lie, I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to back and tell you that you are lying. And continuing to lie on the flyers, every day I got in my mailbox. Champion of homeless, champion of affordable housing. I haven't seen one vote in favor of affordable housing or homeless program. Even people have voted no for the mental health program that we voted to support our homeless with mental health issue. Vote no on Televan Health. So if you want change, if you want to see Hawthorne grow, especially when it comes to economic development, vote for new leadership. Okay? Because they the one have been extractionists, stop progress. They want Hawthorne on the status quo.
I just want to remind council not to
I'm not
make
mentioning no
campaign-
name, Mr. City Attorney, so I'm talking on general. So make sure that you out and vote your conscience, vote for the better Hawthorne. Because people are lying to you. Okay? So Halloween is coming. So Friday we're having a Halloween trick-or-treat for our city. And after you come to our city with the Halloween spooky spectacular carnival, go to Hawthorne Moose Lodge at 8 p.m. I'm having a Halloween party. Okay? So have fun, Halloween, and go out and vote on the 5th, but vote smart. We do need the new leadership in Hawthorne. So God bless you and good night.
Mr. City Attorney, can you finish your statement?
I just want to warn members of the council to not make any campaign statements from the dais. There's a specific government code that regulates this, and certain statements are neutral, but when the election involves incumbents versus challenging candidates, then to say new leadership may be taken as a campaign statement. I just want to warn the council from sitting from the dais and making statements that are either critical or endorsing and supporting candidates, incumbents, or the challenging candidates.
Sir. Councilmember Patterson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank the community for coming out and participating in the process and making your voices heard, taking some great notes for a lot of your concerns and criticisms. We'll definitely appreciate your words and your contribution to the meeting. I want to thank our staff for your hard work and your contribution to the city, as well as our police department. And then speaking of our staff, I was very excited to see, I think it was maybe 16 staff members at the League of California's annual conference last week. And so I was in attendance at that conference. I believe our city clerk was there, city manager, and about 16 staff members were there. And it was just so exciting to see them there. We added a little bit of some monies to the budget this past budget year for continuing education for our staff members, and it was great to see them take advantage of it. I was talking to somebody, somebody in the staff, and they were saying that they previously were not allowed to go to any conferences or pursue any continuing education. Can you guys believe that? It was not allowed. And it's the first time that we've had so many members of our staff attend a conference to gain information about best practices of how cities operate, to contribute to other cities and have those cities also contribute to our city as well. And so I'm very excited to kind of hear some of the things that the members of our staff have learned and got from that experience, and can't wait to see the improvements that are to come to our community because of that. I'm a big believer in investing in our personnel. I think as we invest in our personnel can take care of our community. It strengthens our organization. So I'm just very, very excited about that, and was happy to see them there. And I got a lot of great information myself from attending that particular conference, from opportunities to get grant monies for capital improvement projects, economic development ideas, as well as strategies for addressing the homeless challenges that we all are facing here in the South Bay. And so I'm looking forward to bringing some of that information to future council meetings. And I want to congratulate our Good Neighbor Award recipients, Jelucia, Elizabeth, and Venetia. Definitely, and Annie as well. Annie wasn't here, but thank all four of you women for your contribution to our city. Showing up and just doing your job is one thing, but really kind of going over and above makes a difference, and people can tell. So we definitely appreciate your contribution in that respect. That's all I got. We have a election coming up in 2 weeks. Want to encourage everybody to vote, to check on your neighbors, check on the elderly, anybody that needs some help with getting to the polls. Please offer them that help, and show them the different options they have to vote, whether it be mailing in their ballot or dropping it off at a drop box or going to the polls. The polls will be open for, I think 11 days. We have 11 days of voting in person, and you can vote anywhere in LA County for your particular community. So if you live, or if you live in Hawthorne but work in Pasadena, you can vote in Pasadena for your election here in Hawthorne. So I just want to definitely encourage everybody to vote, and hope everybody has a very safe Halloween. Thanks.
Councilwoman Angie Reyes English.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone that was here tonight. A couple of observations for you, Vaughn. If we could just kind of get some things here, manage some things here. With regards to Birch Avenue and the dumping and everything else, I know we started a cleaning up effort over there. I saw some of the pictures, and I saw staff over there from Public Works cleaning up the area. I know there's still some dumping and some concerns there, but I know that our graffiti folks are great, and they're out there all the time. Well, we could just make this a regular routine. I also noticed there's a fence that is open, and it has illegal trespassing. And so if we could get the owners of that to replace the fencing or repair it so that we don't have individuals coming in and out of the area, if we could do that. I know that I'm limited on what we could talk about at the mall, but we're all aware of what's happening at the mall, put it that way. Let me see. Thank you for questions with regards to, updates to urgent care and things like this. We're all looking forward to that too. We don't have any solid information that could be brought forth, but I look forward for Vaughn giving us some updates on that when the time comes, because I know there's always interest in those folks that are constantly contacting the city. So just so that folks are aware. Let's see. I'd like to give kudos to our seniors today, our senior commissioners that provided the resource fair. Thank you for that. Also commend the awardees of the Good Neighbor Day. I also want to congratulate Dana on her certification for her CMC, Certified Municipal Clerk Certificate, and also for her upcoming food drive on November 2nd at 9 a.m. It's become a very popular food drive. Let's see. I also want to thank our Citanella School District that came out and provided a presentation. Soledad Jose Martin for your presentation and all that you're doing in the community. The Hawthorne Library, I like that he came out and spoke with us about some events at the library. And our Chamber of Commerce on their giveaway, October 30th. I do too see issues with regards near Planet Fitness, the parking lot, the debris and things out there near the 99-cent store. Let's try and coordinate with the owners of that business and see how we could collaborate to address the concerns in the community regarding that business. The Hawthorne School District is doing well. They have a lot going on too with events at the school district. I know there's a lot of events happening around the soccer fields and things that they're happy about, and their grand openings there. So kudos to the school district, Hawthorne School District. Let's see. The issues with regards to some questions that came from the audience with regards to, I think Councilmember Montero touched on it, like Proposition 9 and 10 and, local control and things like this. Yeah, we would love to be able to control a little bit more of that. But as we all know, there's a lot of housing needs. There's also Proposition 4 that provides for colleges and nonprofit organizations, churches, to build housing on their property. And this is to address the shortage of housing that we do have. So that's all important. I'm glad that people are engaged and are reading some of the propositions and measures on the ballot. That's very important to know exactly where you stand on some of the matters, especially housing and homelessness and other pressing ballot measures. But, some of them have some loopholes in there, some tax loopholes that you're ultimately not, might not know that you could be, parcel taxed on. So please be aware of that. There's going to be a landlord-tenant walk-in clinic on Monday, November 4th. This is to address this one-on-one sessions regarding your rental housing issues, tenant-landlord disputes, and any questions regarding fair housing. We talked about Tuesday, October 29th, the home decorating contest, first, second, and third. And that's going to be announced in October. We talked about the Spectacular Carnival coming up on the 26th, this Saturday. There's a Business Connect presents a social on Business Connect end of the year business Monday, November 18th. That's at 5:30 at the Marriott across the street. And thank you to Business Connect for all that you're doing to help our businesses streamline the process. This Saturday is the first Saturday for CERT. It's the Community Emergency Response Team. That's 3 days, 3 Saturdays, October 26th, November 2nd, and November 9th for 8 hours from 9 to 5. This is to get your certification as a Community Emergency Response Team member. And I did one full day, and it's a heavy lift. So if you want to get certified, if you're dedicated, we need you. And I hope that we could get some more folks to register from Hawthorne. It's a Tri-City. It's Gardena, Lawndale, Hawthorne, and we need some more participation from residents here in Hawthorne. Thank you for Councilman Montero for the Inglewood Transit Connector information with regards to what that means and how that could maybe, well, I know it's going to help Hawthorne. New Star Family Justice Center, thank you for coming today, and we acknowledge Domestic Violence Month. And again, Centinela. We got a lot of great projects coming in the pipelines. We've got 3 capital projects. We've got a senior project, new senior center project. We have a new public works project, and we have a new city hall project. So when you hear open bids and discussions regarding large dollar amounts, these are bids that are coming to us for consideration on potentially who would be granted the award to build one of those structures that I just made mention. Again, what else? I don't want to be too long-winded. Thank you, department heads. Thank you for all that you're doing. Appreciate all the work that you're doing to bring grants to the city. That's very important. I look forward to seeing the new equipment being relocated to the Hawthorne Park, and I'm sure everybody wants that to be, finally done. But that's about it. I'm not going to say anything more. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Hello? Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all for being here tonight. It has been a long night, and I am definitely ready to go home. So I am not going to be long. I just wanted to say congratulations to all of the Good Neighbors awardees. Really, truly appreciate the work that you do. I echo my colleagues when they say the importance of going above and beyond what you're called to do. So we appreciate you. I also collectively say thank you to everybody that came and gave a presentation tonight. Truly appreciate all of the wonderful information that was provided to us. Also, I want to talk about city manager, 120th and Van Ness, between Van Ness and El Segundo Boulevard. I get so many calls about why we did not complete the middle of the road. And if you could just give a quick explanation as to why our Public Works completed our street, but that particular area we didn't complete.
We share that street with the county, so we were only able to pave the streets of Hawthorne. Paving the county streets would give liability to the city, and that's why that side of the street was not paved.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing that. And I just want to reiterate, we do not own that piece of property. That belongs to the county. So hopefully the folks that are calling me, hopefully you hear what the city manager just said, and I just repeated it so it's on record. But if you want to call me, I can get definitely.
What segment again, please?
If I can add to that, Public Works did submit an application with the county to pave that area, so Hawthorne did its job. So we're speaking of the thoroughfare, the street itself.
Between where and where?
Between 120th and El Segundo.
Off of Van Ness.
Off of Van Ness. And it's a portion of the street that was not paved by the city because we do not have rights to that part of the street.
So can you say that part again about the application?
We did reach out to the county to request that they pave that side of the street, so the county does not move as fast as Hawthorne does. So we're waiting for them to complete their side of the street.
So they did agree, we're just waiting on them to do the work. So that's great news that the county has agreed to actually pave that part of the street. We just have to wait. So, yay! Let's give kudos to our staff and our city manager, because that is a big deal. Thank you for that. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about, city manager, is the parking lot, the Planet Fitness. We've got multiple folks coming to the dais to complain about that. So I definitely want to make that a priority, but also I am open to discussion in terms of what we can do to address this. I know that the staff has worked very hard. Our police department works hard, but whatever else we could possibly do to address that, I want to be a part of coming up with a decision to address that issue. And let me see. Last but not least, the urgent care. I am happy to report that we had a sit down with Ultimate, who is truly, truly excited and eager to come to the city of Hawthorne. We are currently in the process of having maybe a tour of what the facility could possibly look like and possibly how much space that they need. But they are truly open to coming to the city of Hawthorne. Ultimate has tons and tons and tons of money. So it's going to take some time. Be patient. Just know that these things do not happen overnight, but that they are interested. And I'm still so grateful to my colleagues for moving forward on this. Thank you. Please vote.
Can I have a quick go back? I appreciate it. Mr. City Manager, could we look into a speed study on 145th Street between Doty and Cornbloom? Also, the residents of Bodger Park.
I'm sorry, could 145th or 135th?
145th.
Okay, got it.
And the residents of Bodger Park are concerned. They're having some. They have an issue of not being able to have visitors in their community because of the parking permit rules that exist. So apparently there are no visitor permits that exist, and parking isn't allowed for anybody without a permit. So they're not really able to have guests and visitors come to the house for any extended amount of time. I believe I ran into one resident who, actually more than one, they kind of got rid of their front lawn to accommodate more parking, so they can have visitors. And so if we can look at some type of solution where they can get what they're looking for, of course, having, I guess, the restricted parking that they have, but also be able to have visitors as well without them
Are they
being
asking
ticketed.
for us to revoke the permit parking?
No, they're not asking for that specifically.
Okay.
You know, so I don't know what the answer may be. If maybe guest permits, if it may be only permit parking between 2 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't know. But I think they're looking for some type of adjustment, though. Thanks.
Thank you, Council. Mr. City Manager, a couple meetings ago, maybe the last meeting or the previous meeting, I talked about the gas blower. I haven't asked or requested, but I think I'm ready to put it on the agenda for action discussion, to discuss it, to see where we're at, and maybe you could provide, the city attorney along with yourself, or whoever's responsible, can give us the proper information on what the regulations are. Okay? Doesn't mean we have to do it, but there's been at least one resident out there who's mentioned.
I think there's a new state law that prohibits gas blowers.
Okay.
Gas blowers, not the electric blowers, but gas blowers.
Sure. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, and just see what we're doing and how we're gonna, what our ability to enforce it is, and just so that for the benefit of the community here, how we're taking this and what we're gonna do with it.
You would like that as a discussion action item?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
Not it, well, what else? Well, what else is? If it's a law already that he's saying, it's just we just got to talk about what the implications are, right? So, I suppose this resident was right that there's a new law. So hey, we'll talk about it, and she can listen, and anybody else could see that. So if somebody pulls out a gas blower, you just got to call it in or something, probably. All right. Thank you. Let's see. Kudos to our city clerk who's about to finish her training. She's taking the initiative to do that, so that's really important. Just like any individual training that we take to be able to do our jobs better. Like I've said before, you come in, you have to hit the ground running, but there's always things that we could do to augment our skills, right? So I support any effort for anybody here to do that. Of course, I got this Naleo thing that I'm involved with that has their institute, so that they do give scholarships for that. So if you have opportunity to find scholarships to do these, the better. But if we need to support you, just please speak up, okay? I think the discussion came up about, in terms of the charter protecting us from the state, and drive up and down Rosecrans Avenue, and you can see all the monstrosities that are up there, etc. I understand. I feel exactly the same way as the individual who came up here. But I want to let the rest... Uh-oh. You're disagreeing with my statements already? No. So I agree with the gentleman that came up here and their frustrations as to the monstrosities that we see up there. We have to remember that the council has taken action, which I have opposed, not this one maybe, but a different dynamic of the council here has taken action to increase the density per acre allowed on R3 sites, on high density locations. We were in the mid-20s, and then it was raised to like the low 30s, I believe, 32 or 33. So that's been increased. So those decisions are being made on the council, and I just don't think it's wise. So there's some control that the city council has on what happens in the city, But of course, the argument was made by the developers and advocates out there that said, oh, it's not going to pencil out for the developers to be able to build a residential complex if it's not a higher density. So, I mean, why are we giving an inch, to all this stuff? If it doesn't pencil out, then it should just, what are we concerned about, their pocket? Or are we concerned about the ability to provide services to the community and not overpopulate and strain our services? I think the decision for myself is pretty clear, and for some of the members of the council, I believe so also. So, assuming that we were at 32 per acre, you're talking about, gentlemen referred to the new complex that's being built in the Gardena portion, or saying it's the county. Is it right across from the Millennium? Is that Gardena?
That would be the city of Gardena.
So it's in the city of Gardena. It's going to look exactly like what they have there because we set the precedent for them. I did not support that Millennium project because we have a density here in the city that's limited in the mid to low 30s on high density. It's not the state that's forcing us, but this council, at some point, it's different. I don't know if it was members of this council or previous members of the council. I don't remember exactly who was on it, and I opposed it. They took the developer comes crying, saying, "Oh, it's not going to pencil out. Give us 105 units per acre." So we have on the books 32, 33, something like that, units per acre, and they come crying and ask you for 100 units per acre. Is that the state of California forcing us to do that? No. It's the council's decision on increasing the density. So yeah, okay, so on the decision day, they said, okay, the number was 105 units per acre. You know what? We'll work with the city. We'll bring it down to 95. Whoop-de-doo, right? What a big concession on their part. And then on top of that, there's no parking in there for the people that live there. They've changed the rules. It was a bait and switch, not only for the city, but for the people who live there in that specific facility. And that's something that the city council had control of. It's not the state. That's nothing dealing with the charter. The charter does not protect us from our decisions. It's not meant to be. We can set the rules, we can enforce them, and not keep just giving in to the developers that keep coming up here. It's not the state of California, guys. So let's not argue, hey, protect us for the state of California. I have somebody that actually sits on the dais that lives there, that all of a sudden now they're charging them for parking at that location. No, there's not talking from the, yeah, just please. I don't care if it's people I know or not, I don't know, no, yeah. Okay, so. Well, all right, there's one person speaking, and that's me, sir. Sir, please don't interrupt, I'm speaking. Sir, you're out of order, sir. Sir, you're out of order. Are you out of order? Sir, you're out of order. Are you finished? Are you finished, sir? Are you finished? I do not interrupt when you speak, sir. Have respect for me just like I have respect for you. Well, then be quiet and stay quiet. Can you stay quiet, sir? Stay quiet while I speak. Very simple. I do not interrupt you. Okay.
Speak the truth. Speak the truth to the people. Come on.
All right.
Be a man.
Please. Guys, we have rules here. Some people choose to follow them, others people don't. You know, we have fans of those people, fans of the people who will choose to walk out. That's your decision. Okay? Very good. You heard the gentleman, it's my time and I needed to be respected. Very good. They mentioned I was on this council. I voted against that thing. So thank you for allowing me to tell you what my vote was. I voted against that project consistently. So thank you. So I don't know what the argument was that I was on the council, whatever. I voted against it. Okay? So this whole thing about a charter city, et cetera, and protecting us from the state. Okay, we got another person walking on. It's typical behavior. This has happened before, so I mean, thank you guys for respecting. All right. The simple truth, guys, We just need to make decisions. I don't care if it's this group of people that continues after this election. I really don't care. But we just have to hold the line on this stuff and not give in to these developers that come in and promise us something and then switch it on us. It took a whole 3 or 4 years for them to populate the supposed mixed-use floor on the bottom. It took 3 or 4 years for them to finally put a brewery there. Okay? So I appreciate you guys for being here. Sir, Mr. City Attorney, can you please advise on the electioneering that took place on the dais today? And please refer the electioneering to the necessary, to the appropriate policing agency, sir. Please advise. Sir, you've been warned a 3rd time. Can you please remove them? That's a 3rd time, sir. Okay, we have set rules, guys, and we need them to be respected. When I speak, when my council colleagues speak, etc. If you disagree, it doesn't matter. But anybody who has something they would like to clarify with me, please set an appointment. We have our city administration staff that could easily set up an appointment for us to be able to talk anything that you have questions about, you have doubts, you would like to have answers, just like some of the ones that were asked at the podium. So I'm open for that. Okay. So, okay. Thank you guys all for being here. November 5th, is it November 5th, the Tuesday? It's right around the corner. The election's right around the corner. Just please go out and vote, do your civic duty, and yep, let's see what happens. Thank you guys for being here. The meeting is adjourned at 9:11.